Starting pitchers are warming up, and we're about set to go in today's doubleheader here on the Polo ground. Right now would be a good time to light up a Viceroy. The familiar soft pack on the new flag top tee. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Say, how about checking your supply of Gold Rheingold Extra Dry? Yes, sir, put some Rheingold on ice. It'll add a lot to your enjoyment of today's game. Now, here's a beer with a clean, clear taste. Crisp and bright all the way through. Rheingold is beer as beer should taste. Now, the lineup. Pittsburgh will have Dick Schofield, the switch hitter, playing short, leading off. Bill Virdon in center field, batting second. Willie Stargell in right field, hitting third. Bill Mazeroski at second. He will bat cleanup. Jerry Lynch in left field, batting number 5. Smokey Burgess catching and batting sixth. Donn Clendenon playing first base and hitting seventh. Bob Bailey at third base, hitting eighth. And on the mound and batting ninth, veteran right-hander Vernon Law. The New York Mets will have Jimmy Piersall playing center field, and Jimmy will be leading off. At first base, batting second, Tim Harkness. Ron Hunt playing second and batting third. Duke Snider, the cleanup hitter. Duke will be in right field. Frank Thomas in left field, hitting number 5. Chico Fernandez at shortstop, hitting sixth. Charlie Neal playing third. Neal will hit seventh. Norm Sherry behind the plate, batting eighth. On the mound, batting ninth, Roger Craig. Now, in just a few moments, the umpires will be moving out to home plate, and the New York Mets will be taking the field. Right now, though, a word from Viceroy Cigarette.
I've been out with my truck for a week on the road and was heading on home with a 10-ton load. The trip was long. It felt good to get back. Then I went for a smoke and found an empty pack. I asked for my brand at a diner I know. The man said, "All out of yours. Try these, Joe." Now, I only smoke filters, but these were too light. But a cute little waitress said things right. She said,
Viceroy tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong.
not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right. Now I smoke Viceroy, and it must be fake, because that waitress and I have a wedding date.
Ah, that's right.
So now I know, and I'll take all bets. If you smoke all 7 filter cigarettes, you'll find some too strong,
Some too light.
but Viceroy's got the taste that's right.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
The umpires for today's game, Frank Walsh behind the plate. Vinny Burkhardt will be at first. The crew chief of the team, veteran Jocko Conlon, calling plays around second. And Chris Pelakudis will be the umpire at third base. Absolutely beautiful day, a real midsummer afternoon as the Mets and Pirates hook up in a doubleheader that winds up the 4-game weekend series. So if you haven't finalized your plans for today as yet, we hope you're planning to join us right here on the Polo grounds for today's doubleheader. Tomorrow night, the New York Mets will be at Yankee Stadium playing the New York Yankees in their first New York meeting ever in the Mayor's Trophy game for the benefit of Sandlot Baseball in New York. We hope that there will be a big crowd tomorrow night in the Yankee Stadium with the youngsters of New York benefiting from it. Right now, the New York Mets are going to the playing field. Tuesday night, Bobby Bregan and the Milwaukee Braves will be coming in. Henry Aaron of the Braves leads the major leagues in home runs with 16, and he has 38 RBIs. Aaron, truly outstanding ball player, off to a tremendous year. Right now, Roger Craig moves to the pitching mound. Casey Stengel talking to Jocko for a few moments near home plate. Norm Sherry has donned the catching gear and will be about set for action. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem. the playing of our national anthem, Roger Craig throws in his final warm-up toss. Setting up the defense for the New York Mets, Tim Harkness at first, Ron Hunt playing second. Chico Fernandez at short, and Charlie Neal will be at third. In the outfield, Frank Thomas in left field. Jimmy Piersall playing center field. And around in right field, Duke Snider. Roger Craig pitching with Norm Sherry behind the plate. Dick Schofield, the split-hitting shortstop of the Bucks, will be leading off in the first game of the doubleheader. He had a good game yesterday with 3 hits and 5 times at bat. Schofield hitting left-handed against Roger, batting at .238 on the year. Charlie Neal in close at third to guard against the possibility of a bunt. Chico Fernandez hit his stride towards second. First pitch of the game is a breaking ball over, strike one call. Roger hoping to stop a 6-game losing streak as he takes them out against the Bucks here in the opener of this doubleheader. Roger has a lifetime record against Pittsburgh of 5 wins and 11 losses. Bucks have been a tough ball club for Roger over the years. Now the pitch on the way, outside and low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have not been hitting. They have been gripped in a very severe team batting slump, and Casey Stengel hoping to find a remedy. His ball club passed up the customary batting practice before the game today. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two veteran right-handers picking up in this game. Roger Craig against Virdon Law. Pretty hard right now for Casey to determine who will pitch the game for him tomorrow night against the Yankees. Inside and low in the count, even 2-2. He'll just have to play it by ear and make his decision on the basis of how many pitchers he uses in today's doubleheader. Now Craig over the head, the 2-2 delivery. Outside and low, ball 3, and we have a full count. Roger Craig and Norm Sherry thought they had Schofield struck out on that last pitch. Ron Norby on the coaching lines at first. Frank Osiak is coaching at third. Bill Virdon waiting on deck, and then Willie Stargell. We're just underway. First game of a doubleheader. Now the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck it out. And the hitter, Bill Virdon. Virdon hitting at .229, had 1 hit, a home run, and 5 times up in yesterday's game. His home run was a line drive just clearing the barrier and landing in the lower deck in right field with a man on. Pitch to him by Craig is off the outside corner. 1 ball and no strikes. Edge of the grass, wide of the bag at third. Pitch to Virdon is hammered foul in behind Ron Norby, and 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, we have had some beautiful days on this homestand. The homestand continues right along, starting on Tuesday night against Milwaukee. Braves will play Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Next Tuesday, an open date. The St. Louis Cardinals, who have 3 of the top 4 hitters in the National League, are in next weekend. Outside and high, ball 2, 2-1. Now Roger with a 2-1 count on Bill Virdon. Virdon batting out of a slight crouch. Lets it go, and it's low, ball 3, 3-1. Base hit through the hole going into right field. Duke Snider grabs it, plays it back in quickly to Ron Hunt. And Virdon on the 3-1 pitch has singled to right field. Now Willie Stargell, the right fielder, is on to hit, batting at .288 on the year. He had one hit, a home run in the game yesterday. That came in the 8th inning. His home run was a king-size cloud. It went over the bullpen out in right center field and nestled back in the lower deck. Two of them there, strike one call. Let's have the infield hoping for a shot at 2. And a slow curve is taken. 1 ball, 1 strike. Craig up in pitching position now. Bill Virdon is on first, 1 man out. Now Roger comes to the stop and throws to first base. Roger going back to the stretch for just a moment. Fires to first again, not in time. Early in the year when they were calling so many balks, Roger changed his style of pitching with men on base. Now the pitch on the way. Inside and low, it's ball 2, 2 and 1. And he has stayed right with it. Prior to all the ball calls, Roger, like everybody else, is going to a slow stretch, come to the stop, then pitch. But then after having several balks called on him, he started just taking his hands and coming right to the stop position. 2-1 delivery. Foul ball hit in the air back towards the screen. Jerry a mask in hand looking for a play, but it's out of reach. The early going during the siege of the balk calls, the New York Mets had 15 called on them. Don Rowe and Roger Craig each threw 5. Count 2-2 on Willie Stargell now. Comes the pitch. Low on a curve, ball 3, 3 and 2. Now let's keep an eye on Bill Virdon and see if Danny Murtaugh has him in motion on 3 and 2 with 1 man down. The left-hand batter, Willie Stargell RF, Fernandez is shaded over not far from the second base. Throw to first, not in time. Pitcher with a good pickoff move. Really likes to work on a runner here. There he goes. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. The pitch going down the slide. He is out, and the side is retired. Norm Sherry to Chico Fernandez. 49th double play of the year for the New York Mets. As Stargell strikes out into a double play. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, none left on. The score in the middle of the first, the Pirates nothing, and the Mets coming to bat. Here's a riddle for filter cigarette smokers. What slides right open, slides just tight. That's 1,000 for convenience, and scores with a taste that's right 20 times. It's Viceroy's exclusive new slide top case. The greatest improvement in cigarette packaging since the flip open box. Now it's first proof like a box. Slides right open, slides shut tight. It works so easy and with just 1 hand. Inside, Viceroy. The filter cigarette that tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Now, fans, if you smoke all 7 leading filter brands, you'll find some taste too strong, just like the unfiltered kind. And others taste too light, and they take all the fun and flavor out of smoking. But Viceroy is not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. The next time you buy cigarettes, make it Viceroy, the exclusive slide top case, or the familiar soft pack. Now, Jimmy Piersall will lead off against veteran right-hander Vern Law. Here's the pitch on the way. Tried a fastball that missed outside. 1 ball and no strike. pitching turned in by the Beacon, Vern Law, has been very encouraging to the Pirates since his return from the minor leagues. Foul ball back to the screen. Very early in the year, he volunteered to go down to the Carolina League and try and pitch himself into good condition and get that arm working well again, taking advantage of the hot weather down there while the weather was still chilly in the Major League area. Vernon has 1-1 and lost 2. Breaking ball outside and low. 2 balls and a strike. After pitching the Pirates to the pennant in 59, Vern was the victim of an unfortunate accident that could cause him to come up with a sore arm. Ball 3, 3-1. A little horseplay on the bus. His leg was twisted, and then he favored it and caused him to develop a sore arm, and the arm really bothered him. A drive in the air to right center field, running hard for it is Willie Stargell. Back he goes, and he's got it on the run. Willie Stargell had to go deep into right center field to pull down that long drive hit by Jim Piersall. One away and nobody on. The hitter coming on now is Tim Harkness. Up here's his pitch. Inside, 1 ball and no strike. After pitching the Bucks to the pennant in 59 when he won a 120 ball game, following year Vern won 3 and lost 4. He was on the disabled list from July to October. A high pop foul. Calling for it is Bailey, the third baseman. He flips the glasses and fouls out and takes it for the out. 2 outs and nobody on now in the last half of the first inning, and on to hit will be Ron Hunt. Ron batting .282. He leads the New York Mets in hitting. Ron has 3 homers and 13 RBIs. Duke Snider in the on-deck circle. Next pitch on the way. He holds up on a slider. It's over a strike on the outside corner. Mets trying to break through against Danny Mursaw's Pirates. They have been unable to beat the Pirates so far this year. Pittsburgh winning 3 games out in Pittsburgh, and they have taken the first 2 of this series. Outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Delivery. A smash knocked down by Law. He runs off the mound, picks it up, now throws to first in time. Hard ground ball hit by Ron Hunt. But Law got his glove down and knocked it down and then threw him out. No runs, no hits, no errors then left on. At the end of 1, the score, the Pirates nothing and the Mets nothing. Well, we had more fun than the youngster with Floss Candy the last time the Milwaukee Braves were in town. They came in on the 19th of April to open a 4-game weekend series. The Mets came back home, suffering with an 8-game losing streak, but they caught fire and swept the 4-game series from Milwaukee. The Mets were hoping that they could duplicate the feat when the Braves come in Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Braves have the hottest hitter in the National League right now, Henry Aaron. Aaron, although he does not lead the league in batting average, Wes Covington has that on it, is leading the major leagues in home runs with 16, and he has 38 runs batted in. So the fine veterans of the Milwaukee Braves, paced by Henry Aaron, Warren Spahn, and Lou Burdett, coming in for 2 games Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Hope you're planning to be with us. Tickets are on sale at the advanced sale window at the Polo Grounds, and for those of you commuting to Manhattan, at the Grand Central Station near the foot of the 42nd and Vanderbilt ramp in the Long Island waiting room of the Penn Station. Remember, too, that for all future home games this season of the New York Mets, ticket reservations may be made at all Howard Clothes stores in the metropolitan area. Bill Mazeroski, batting cleanup for the Bucks, is up against Roger Gray. Maz has 4 home runs. He hit one yesterday, and 18 runs batted in. 1 ball and no strikes. Mazeroski is kind of the dean of the Pirates ball club, despite the fact he's only 26 years old. In comes the pitch. Breaking ball outside and low. Ball 2, 2-0. A high fly ball, not too deep to left center field. Jimmy Piersall cruises in. He's under it, and Jimmy takes it for the out. One away and nobody on. That'll bring up Jerry Lynch. He won the opening game of this series for the Pirates with a 2-run homer off Darrell Willie. And in yesterday's game, he had 3 for 5, including a home run. So Jerry Lynch in this series has 4 hits and 8 times up and has hit 2 home runs. Pitch by Craig is a swing and a miss. Jerry Lynch stepping in to really pick the Pirates up in their moment of need with Roberto Clemente sitting out a 5-day suspension. Now Craig into his windup, delivers. In the dirt, no damage done as the ball skips to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike. Is the on-deck hitter. He takes, and it's over, a fastball at the letters for a called strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lynch didn't like the call. He steps out of the batter's box and argues a little bit with Frank Walsh. Jerry Lynch pretty unhappy on the last call. 2 strike count. Must have the infield deep and swung around toward right. Ron Hunt playing a slider 2 into right field against Lynch, a left-hand pull hitter. Inside and high, and the count even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First game of a doubleheader. We have a lot of baseball going here in the Polo Grounds today. Hope you're planning to join us. Now Craig with a 2-2 pitch. A ground ball hit down the first baseline, a fair ball taken by Harkness. Tim makes the play unassisted. That sailed out of the hands. It broke, actually. Jerry Lynch got all the way to first base. He still had the bat handle in his hand. The barrel of the bat, the big part of the bat, sailed down towards first. And the ball also was fair, and it went down to Tim Harkness. 2 outs and nobody on now in the Pirates' second. The hitter is veteran Smokey Burgess. Smokey, a fine natural hitter. Batting at .272. Uses an open batting stance. Pitch by Craig, a breaking ball inside. 1 ball and no strike. Is a lifetime 300 hitter after 13 years. Inside and low, ball 2-2-0. Last year he hit .328, 13 home runs, and 61 runs batted in. He was in only 103 ball games, so you can see that he really did a lot of hitting in the games he did play. Serve is over, a call strike, 2-1. 61 runs batted in 103 ball games at the fast pace. Now Craig winding, the pitch to Burgess, a line drive hit hard, a base hit to left center field, and the ball is rolling back toward the bleachers. Smokey around first is on his way to second. Piersall picking the ball up in deep left center, and Burgess will hold with a double. That ball 4. for most players in the National League would have been a 3-base hit. But Smokey has never been known for his speed of foot. He may not be able to run, but I want to tell you, he certainly can hit. He's about as fine a natural hitter as you can look at. Now Burgess on second, 2 down, and the hitter is Donn Clendenon, the first baseman. Clendenon batting .289, tall, rangy right-hand hitter, sends from the waist. Let's play him deep, and just about straight away. Here's the pitch by Craig, way up high. Sure, he had to reach up for that one. 1 ball and no strike. Smokey is the kind of hitter you hear the ball players always say they could walk out of the house in the middle of the winter with snow up to his waist and get a base hit. This is Clendenon, a ground ball knocked down by Craig. Now Rogers gets up, throws to first, and the side is out. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. At the end of an inning and a half to score, the Pirates nothing and the Mets nothing. You know, some fans seem to enjoy a cigarette most during a tense portion of the ball game. Others like to light up and relax while the teams are changing sides. Me? Well, I get full pleasure out of my smoke every time because it's Viceroy. Viceroy tastes the way you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. How do I know? Well, I found out on my own. You see, I smoked all 7 leading filter brands and found some tasted too strong. Like they didn't have a filter at all. And others tasted too light. They took all the fun and flavor out of smoking. The Viceroy's not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. So next time, pick up a carton of Viceroy. In the familiar soft pack or the exclusive new slide top case. Either way, I'm sure you'll agree. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Duke Snider up against Vern Law. Nobody on, nobody out. Last half of the second. Pitch by the Deacon is foul back towards the screen. Strike 1. Yankee Stadium will be packed to capacity tomorrow night for the very worthwhile and warm cause of the Sandlot baseball program in New York. 1 ball and 1 strike. The game tomorrow night starts at 8 o'clock at Yankee Stadium, and the proceeds, of course, are to benefit the youngsters in the Sandlot baseball program of the metropolitan area. A high foul pop-up hit over toward the crowd. Moving over is Bailey. He has room and makes the catch near the warning pass. Snider fouls out to Bailey. 1 away, nobody on. The hitter coming on will be Frank Thomas. Game tomorrow night in Yankee Stadium will be the first New York meeting ever between the Mets and the Yankees. Next year, the game will be played in the Mets' beautiful new home, Shea Stadium, out in Flushing on Long Island. Passes up the situation, the batter Frank Thomas. He holds up a little bit high, 1 ball and no strike. Thomas hoping he can break out of his batting slump. Wait, and the pitch outside and low, ball 2-2-0. pitch. Slider outside. Ball 3, and Law has gone behind on Thomas 3-0. Chico Fernandez will be hitting next, and then Charlie Neal. Now the 3-0 pitch by Vern. It's outside, ball 4, and he walks Thomas on 4 pitches. Chico Fernandez coming on to hit. Chico hitting at 208. Pitched real well against Houston. He went 7 innings. He gave up just 2 earned runs. Pirates won the game 4-3, although Law did not figure in the decision. That's a strike on the outside corner. Law defeated the St. Louis Cardinals on the 11th of May, 3-2. Fernandez waiting. Pitch by the Beacon, a line drive into left center field for a base hit. Thomas around second is going on to third, and the Mets have runners on first and third. Fernandez just kind of punched a real soft line drive, but beyond the reach of Dick Schofield, the shortstop, it dropped into shallow left center for a base hit. Scuttle the Pirates. Runners on first and third, 1 down. Charlie Neal facing Vernon Law. Pitch by the Beacon. A fly ball going foul down the right field line. This will be into the crowd and out of play. Towards second, the ball is hopped up. A foul ball outside first. Fernandez coming back to first. Clendenon makes the catch in foul ground. Now there are 2 away, and it'll be up to Norm Sherry to try and drive a runner home. Before Norm comes on to hit, we'll pause for station identification.
WGY 810 on your radio dial in Schenectady.
Smokey Burgess on the mound talking to Vernon Law. New York with Frank Thomas on third, Chico Fernandez on first, and 2 men down. Norm Sherry hitting for the first time in the game with runners on first and third. The runner, 10 pitches. Fastball had him tied up. It was in for a call, strike 1. Now the pitch on the way. Ground ball hit down to third. Bob Bailey is throwing to second. In time for the force play, and on to first, not in time. There were 2 men down. I don't know what they were thinking of. They wanted to get a double play, and we followed right along. They didn't need a double play. The force play at second retires to side. They played it out for a double play, forgetting for a moment that there were already 2 men down. So Sherry is retired from Bob Bailey to Bill Mazeroski. In the second, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. At the end of 2 innings, the score, the Pirates nothing and the Mets nothing. Well, we hope you're planning to send in right away for your copy of the official song of the New York Mets entitled Meet the Mets. The tune is available in a 45 RPM recording with a vocal on one side and the instrumental version on the reverse side. To obtain your copy of the record and meet the Mets, send $1 to Metaphysical Song, Polo Grounds, New York, 39, New York. Well, I hope you're enjoying today's doubleheader. Just underway, 2 innings played in the opening game. I know you'll enjoy Viceroy cigarettes. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. Right now, on this sunny Sunday afternoon, all set to sing the song Meet the Mets for you is Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Bob, and I'm sure that you and I could sing. It's going to be a perfect day to sing. Beautiful day for baseball. No scores. Top of the third inning. Roger Gregg looking for his third win of the year. He's lost 8. So far, he has given up 2 hits. A base hit to Bill Virdon and a double to Smokey Burgess. And he'll be pitching to Bob Bailey for the first time. Bob, a right-hand batter, playing at third base. And the first pitch, a slider outside for ball 1. Bailey batting .234, 5 home runs, and 16 runs batted in. Back again. This time it's on, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. In the National League, Houston scheduled at Milwaukee. After 6, Philadelphia 5, Chicago 2. First of 2 there. San Francisco at St. Louis. Marichal and Brolio, the opposing pitchers. That game just getting underway. There's a curve over for strike 2 called. Los Angeles at Cincinnati. Johnny Padres against O'Toole. 1 ball and 2 strikes as Roger misses outside with a slider. The count now evens out at 2-2. The American League, the Yankees nothing, Cleveland nothing after 4 1/2. Stafford and Kralik. That's the first of 2. Washington scheduled at Kansas City. Boston at Chicago. Monboquet against Herbert. That's the first of 2. And Detroit at Minnesota. Paul and Cox, the opposing pitchers. That game just getting underway. Also, Baltimore at Los Angeles. No warm-up there. Here's the pitch and a high pop-up to the shortstop, Chico Fernandez. He waits and makes a catch right on the dirt part of the infield on the edge of the grass. So Bailey is out for the first out here in the third. And it will bring up Vern Law. Vern batting from the right-hand side has 1 hit and 6 trips to the plate. Vernon Law, veteran with the Pittsburgh Pirates in many years. He lives in Boise, Idaho, and the first pitch to him is a curve over for strike 1. Pirates no runs on 2 hits. The Mets have no runs and 1 hit. Craig back to the plate, and it's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Vern going for a low outside slider. The pitch looked as though it might have been off of the plate. So Roger, a quick 2 strikes. And back to the plate. There's a line drive into center field. A base hit for Law. Roger trying to seek a fastball by Vernon Law. And Law picked it up and lined it to center field for the 3rd hit off Roger Gregg. That'll give the Bucks the base runner with 1 out and bring up Dick Schofield. Dick, a switch hitter, batting from the left-hand side. Struck out swinging his first time up. Batting .237, no home runs and 10 runs batted in. For the first time in his life, he's had the job at shortstop all his own. Dick, for the Pirates, played behind Dick Groat and Don Hoke in the infield, also Bill Mazeroski, so not much of a chance. First pitch is low, and it's ball 1. Made room for him when they traded Groat and Don Hoke away. Pirates also have a veteran shortstop, Johnny Logan, on their team. Logan, for many years, a star with Milwaukee. Here's a curve that's outside, and now Roger, 2 balls and no strikes to Dick Schofield. No score. We're in the top of the 3rd. Mets have 1 out. Logan saw a little action last year for Pittsburgh.
Played in only 44 games, and this year he's been in 11. There's a strike call, the slider at the knees, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. That's quite a switch for Dick Logan, who played all the games in 1954 and 55 from Milwaukee. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Should say Johnny Logan. Thinking of Dick Schofield, the batter. 2 balls and 2 strikes. First base not being held on. Tim Harkness playing about 6 steps behind. Here's the 2-2 pitch. A swing and a miss with a curveball, and he struck him out. Rogers picking up his second strikeout in the ball game. After getting Dick Schofield in the first inning, so now he has a total of 3. Schofield going down twice. Willie Stargell going down once. That'll bring up Bill Virdon. Bill singles to right center field his first time up, and he takes the fastball outside for ball 1. Virdon batting .234, left-hand batter. He had his first home run this year in yesterday's game. There's a swing and a curve, and it's strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Last year with 6 home runs for the full season. He batted .247 for the Pirates. 1-1 pitch, topped out by the pitcher's mound. Roger Craig comes over, fields it, throws to first in time to retire the side. For the Bucs, no runs on 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The Pirates nothing, the New York Mets nothing. Say, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between good and great? Well, to my way of thinking, more often than not, it's a matter of time. Yes, time. A fellow that rushes through things hurriedly and willy-nilly just doesn't get the same results as a fellow who takes his time. And that figures. It figures, too, that time is a very important factor in brewing beer. That's why the brewers of Rheingold Extra Dry take extra time in brewing beer. They take the extra time necessary to brew extra dry beer. The result? Beer as beer should taste. Beer that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. Beer that's easy to enjoy. That's Rheingold Extra Dry. The beer that's easy to get along with right after glass after glass. So next time, make it Rheingold. Rheingold Extra Dry beer. Of the 3rd inning, Vernon Law coming out to the pitcher's mound, slowly getting ready to take his warm-up pitches. So while we wait for him to warm up, let's check the scores. In the National League, the starting pitchers in the Houston-Milwaukee game are Bruce and LeMaster. Houston out in the top of the first, the Braves coming to bat. Braves will come in here to open up a 2-game series on Tuesday. That'll be June the 4th, the night game, and Wednesday, June the 5th, the day game. Philadelphia 5, Chicago 2 after 6.5 innings. Schultz now pitching for the Cubs. McClish still in for Philadelphia. Williams, Lemon, and Matthews home runs in that one. That's the first of 2. San Francisco at St. Louis. Marichal looking for his 8th win, going for the Giants. Rolio looking for his 6th win, going for the St. Louis Cardinals. Giants now only 1 game ahead of the second-place Cardinals. In 3rd place, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Dodgers are playing Cincinnati. The starting pitcher, Johnny Padres, against Jim O'Toole. Right here is the bottom half of the 3rd inning. And the first man up will be Roger Craig. Roger, and then the top of the batting order, Jimmy Piersall and Tim Harkness. Batting .234, left-hand batter. He had his first home run this year in yesterday's game. There's a swing and a curve, and it's strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Virdon last year with 6
home runs for the full season. He batted .247 for the Pirates. 1-1 pitch, topped out by the pitcher's mound. Roger Craig comes over, fields it, throws to first in time to retire the side. For the Bucks, no runs on one hit, no errors, one man left, and the score at the end of 2.5 innings of play. The Pirates nothing, the New York Mets nothing. Say, let me ask you a question. What's the difference between good and great? Well, to my way of thinking, more often than not, it's a matter of time. Yes, time. A fellow that rushes through things hurriedly and willy-nilly just doesn't get the same results as a fellow who takes his time. And that figures. It figures, too, that time is a very important factor in brewing beer. That's why the brewers of Rheingold Extra Dry take extra time in brewing beer. They take the extra time necessary to brew extra dry beer. The result? Beer as beer should taste. Beer that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. Beer that's easy to enjoy. That's Rheingold Extra Dry. The beer that's easy to get along with right after glass after glass. So next time, make it Rheingold. Rheingold Extra Dry beer. Half of the third inning. Vernon Law coming out to the pitcher's mound, slowly getting ready to take his warm-up pitches. So while we wait for him to warm up, let's check the scores. In the National League, the starting pitchers in the Houston-Milwaukee game are Bruce and LeMaster. Houston out in the top of the first, the Braves coming to bat. Braves will come in here to open up a 2-game series on Tuesday. That'll be June the 4th, a night game, and Wednesday, June the 5th, a day game. Philadelphia 5, Chicago 2 after 6.5 innings. Schultz now pitching for the Cubs. McClish still in for Philadelphia. Williams, Lemon, and Matthews home runs in that one. That's the first of 2. San Francisco at St. Louis. Marichal looking for his 8th win, going for the Giants. Rolio looking for his 6th win, going for the St. Louis Cardinals. Giants now only one game ahead of the second-place Cardinals. In third place, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the Dodgers are playing Cincinnati. The starting pitcher, Johnny Padres, against Jim O'Toole. Right here, it's the bottom half of the third inning. And the first man up will be Roger Craig. Roger, and then the top of the batting order, Jimmy Piersall and Tim Harkness. Vernon Law on the mound, and this first pitch to Roger is a curve. It's swung on and missed for strike one. Roger threw 2 curves to Vernon Law, got 2 strikes, and then came in with a fastball. Law singled to center field. Here's Law with his second pitch. Hits the slider low, gets off the glove of the catcher, Smokey Virgin. 1 ball, 1 strike. Roger with 2 hits and 27 trips to the plate. His last hit, a line drive to center field. Score in the game as Law comes back with the curveball. Again, Roger swings and misses. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Vernon Law looking for his second win of the year. And there is a slider just outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vernon with a real good slider. A curveball. He also changes speed well. Not too fast. Marvelous control, and he's throwing like his arm is flying again. Now the 2-2 pitch. Misses low, and it's ball 3. So 5 pitches to Roger Craig. The count full. The on-deck batter is Jimmy Piersall. Vernon Law bothered by arm trouble the last 2 years. Here's a 3-2 pitch to Craig. A fastball looked at, called strike 3. Roger thought the pitch was outside. Picks up his first strikeout in the ball game. He has 1 out here in the bottom half of the third, and the batter is Jimmy Piersall. Jimmy slide out to deep right center field his first time up. A real nice running catch by the right fielder, Willie Stargell. Jimmy has been in a slump. He's 0 for 18 now, but he's hit the ball well all through it. He takes the slider low for ball 1. The ball in the dirt, getting off the glove of Burgess. Piersall hit the ball well against Bob Friend yesterday. Didn't get any base hits. Third baseman, Bob Bailey, looking for possible bunnies, even with the bag. Here's the pitch back. A line shot off of the hand of Vernon Law, picked up by the shortstop, and he's out. So once again, Piersall robbed of a base hit, and he throws his hat high in the air, and Law now might be hurt. Here comes the trainer, Danny Whalen, and Danny Murtaugh, the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Law flagged that one down with his bare hand, deflected the ball just enough to allow the shortstop, Dick Schofield, to pick the ball up about near second base. And Piersall hit it so hard it was an easy chance at first. So Jimmy has hit the ball hard twice now. You're scoring. Law gets an assist on the play. It goes 1-6-3. Now he'll take some warm-up pitches to see if his hand's all right. That's twice in the game that Law has been hit. Ron Hunt bounced one off his leg, and Vern picked it up and threw him out. Warming up in the bullpen now for the Pittsburgh Pirates is Earl Francis. Boy, when you're going tough, the Pirates really need no help. They're playing good ball, but the Mets certainly do, and they have had no help at all and no luck. That ball, a real smash. It was ticketed to go all the way to center field for a base hit. Law got his bare hand on it. Piersall went down. So the Bucks now have 2 men out, and the batter's Tim Harkness, who fouled out his first time up. Tim batting at 245. Tim got up to 260-something, but since has dropped back down. And he looks at a change of pace that's low for ball 1. Batting 247, 4 home runs, 16 runs batted in. There's one off the handle. It'll drop in. Shortstop going back, can't get to it. And Harkness picks up a base hit. Hitting the ball off the hand just over the shortstop's head, a looping line drive. And the Mets now have a runner at first with 2 outs. The score is 0-0, and the batter is Ron Hunt. We will be... Second base hit off Vern Law in the game. The other base hit by Chico Fernandez. Chico had the only good base hit off Bob Friend yesterday. Friend pitching a 2-hitter, winning 10-1. Friend had 17 consecutive outs before a base hit by Eddie Kranepool spoiled his pitch for a no-hitter. First pitch to Ron Hunt, a curve low for ball 1. Hit a smash back to the box his first time up. It was off of the leg of Vernon Law, and he threw him out. So he is 0 for 1 and now down to 280. He still leads the club in batting. Here's the pitch back to Hunt. It's low, ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. Harkness at first base, no score. Pirates with 3 hits, the Mets with 2. And a fastball comes through there for a strike call. There's the high strike that they talked about earlier in the year. The pitch up around the shoulder. Ron Hunt didn't like the call. The count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Ball back, and there's a check in the swing, and the ball goes foul. In the top of the first inning at St. Louis, the Giants have scored at least 2 runs on a home run by Willie Mays. Home run coming off the starting pitcher, Ernie Brolio for the St. Louis Cardinals. Juan Marshall is going for the San Francisco Giants. So Willie picking up a big home run. Giants only 1 game on top of the Cardinals. A base ball hit right back to the mound, picked up by Vernon Law, but thrown to first in time to retire the side. In the inning for the Mets, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 man left, and the score through 3 innings of play now. The Pirates nothing, the New York Mets nothing. Well, it's going to be a big day. Oh, I guess I should correctly say a big night tomorrow night when the Mets go across the river to take on the New York Yankees. The Yankees are scheduled to start Marshall Bridges on the mound against the Mets in that Sandlot baseball game that will be for the young players around the New York area. A charity ball game, and still plenty of tickets left. So if you haven't made your plans for Monday night, you'll get your chance to see the Mets in action in the American League for the first time. They'll be playing in Yankee Stadium for the first time, and certainly not the last. Polo Grounds parking lots will be open to accommodate the crowd. Still plenty of tickets left, so come on in. Yankees to go with their starting lineup, with the possible exception of Elston Howard, who is scheduled to catch both games of the doubleheader today for the Yankees. Marshall Bridges on the mound. Manager Casey Stengel hasn't made any definite plans as to who his pitcher will be. He's going to wait till after the doubleheader here today. Yankees and the Mets tomorrow night at Yankee Stadium. Game time at 8 p.m. We'll be on the air at 7:55. Radio only, so if you can't make it, join in on the fun via your radio. Here's the first pitch as Roger Craig starts the top of the fourth. No score. It's low for ball one. Batter is Willie Stargell, the right fielder. Willie struck out his first time up. Roger had 2 strikeouts in the first inning. Stargell, a big one. There's a pitch back low, ball 2, as it was a strikeout double play. Running on the pitch, Bill Virdon thrown out at second. Stargell batting .284. He had a home run yesterday when the Pirates picked up 4 home runs. There's a swing and a miss at a changeup, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike. Stargell, a big fella, and he has an arm better than Clendenon, which is almost hard to believe. And he looks at a change of pace. It's on the outside corner. This time a curveball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Hard to believe anybody can throw harder than Clendenon, but the Pirates claim that Stargell can. We haven't had a chance to see him throw. There's a bouncing ball through the middle. Run on a backhand play. The throw to first base is not in time. Casey Stengel coming out to argue. Ken Burkhardt, the umpire there, called him safe. A real close play. And Stargell beat it out. A fine play by Ron Hunt going to his right side. The backhand the ball and turn to make a good throw to first. So the decision by the umpire, Ken Burkhardt, gives the a runner at first base with no one out. And Bill Mazeroski is the batter. Mazeroski takes the first pitch, a fastball for strike 1. Maz flied out to center field his first time up. He's batting .286 now. Stargell leading off at first, draws the throw. He beats it back, of course. Now another throw to first base. This time the tag made by Harkness, but Stargell was in there. Bucks with a runner at first and no out. We're in the top of the fourth, no score. Again a throw, a dive, and he is out. Harkness Craig picked him off. Take care of the decision at first base. Stargell erased. Everybody happy now. And Roger with 3 throws to first, and the third one got him. 1 strikeout to Mazeroski, and the next pitch is low for ball 1. Roger with a full windup. 1 ball, 1 strike. Francis still throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates, which might indicate that Vern Law might have trouble with that bare hand to stop that smash by Jimmy Piersall. Swing and a miss on a changeup for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There's a foul ball out of play. Now holding them 1-2. In the American League, the Yankees out on the top of the sixth. No score in that ball game. Stafford against Kralik. Now in the bottom of the sixth inning, Joe Adcock with a home run with 2 on against Cleveland, at least a 3-0 lead. That's the first of 2. Washington scheduled at Kansas City, Boston at Chicago, Mambo Kid against Herbert. That's the first of 2. Detroit at Minnesota, Fall and Cott. Detroit out in the top of the first with no score, and Baltimore at Los Angeles. Right here, no score. 1 out, top of the 4th inning. The count, 1 ball and 2 strikes on Bill Mazeroski. There's a bouncing ball to short. Fernandez up with it. Underhands the first in time. 2 men out, and Jerry Lynch comes up. Jerry grounded out the first base his first time up, the bat breaking right in half. He's had 2 home runs in this series. To raise his total to 5, he has driven in 13 runs, and he's batting at .245. Jerry acquired by the Pirates for the 2nd time in his career, in a trade that sent Bob Skinner to the Cincinnati Reds. First pitch to the left-hand batter is outside and high for ball 1. Lynch originally was drafted from the Yankees by the Pirates. They lost him in the draft to Cincinnati, and now they have traded back for him. Greg shakes yes, winds and comes back. And he drops the curve that's on the outside corner above the knees for strike 1. 1 ball and 1 strike. One time, Jerry Lynch was converted into a catcher. But an injury stopped that, and he went back to the outfield. He's been a fine hitter all his life. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Lynch. And there's a swing, a hard one, and a fastball for strike 2. In his first year, batted .329 in pro ball. 1953, he led the Piedmont League and hit him with a .333 average. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And Roger, trying to butt the curve off, throws it too far down in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-2. 1962, Jerry Lynch was the fellow who cinched the pennant for the Cincinnati Reds. He had a home run off Bob Anderson, pitching for the Cubs in the 8th inning. Here's 2-2, and there's a swing and a miss and a let-up for strike 3, and Roger gets out of the inning. The strikeout, the 4th in the ball game, and for the Pirates, no runs on 1 hit, erased by the pickoff by Roger Craig. There were no errors and no one left on base. And the score at the end of 3.5 innings of play. The New York Mets nothing, the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing.
You can throw away your opener forever. That's right. You don't need an opener to take off the top of Rheingold's new Chug-a-Mug. Why, you don't even need a glass. Rheingold's new Chug-a-Mug is the first beer container with a top that's so easy to open and a wide mouth to drink from. To open Chug-a-Mug, pull the metal tab on top straight out and up. That's right. Chug-a-Mug. No openers, no glasses, no fooling. Chug-a-Mug is filled with 12 ounces of famous Rheingold Extra Dry. The beer with a taste that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. If you haven't already enjoyed Rheingold Extra Dry on the new Chug-a-Mug, get a move on. There's a 6-pack waiting for you at your dealers now. Chug-a-Mug holds the same and costs the same as the 12-ounce can. And there's no deposit to pay.
My beer is Rheingold. My beer is a brand new white mouth. Chug-a-Mug.
It'll be Duke Snider, Frank Thomas, and Chico Fernandez against Vern Law. Shutout going for both sides. Bottom half of the 4th inning. And the first pitch to Duke. It's a change of pace. It's low for ball 1. Law has given up only 2 hits so far. He has struck out 1 and walked 1. In the 3rd third inning, he was hit by a line smash off the bat of Jimmy Piersall. There's a drive to right. It's going to go all the way. It's a home run. For Duke Snider. He's only 2 away from the coveted 400 mark, and that is his 9th of the season. Duke putting the Mets out in front for the first time in this game and the first time in the series. They lead by a score of 1-0 in the pitch to Frank Thomas. Line to left field, foul. Ball curving just foul, about a foot. So the Duke only 2 away from the magic 400 number. That home run, 398 in his major league career. He leads the Mets in home runs with 9 now, and that was a line smash in the lower stands in right field. Thomas with a 1 strikeout, and Vern Law comes back on the outside corner with a slider for strike 2. We were saying Law was hit by a smash off the bat of Jimmy Piersall. It hit his bare hand and pitching hand, and he might be having some trouble. Now the 2 strikeouts, and it's a fastball right at the knees, called strike 3. Thomas out on strike. For the second strikeout for Vern Law. He threw that ball well, so the hand must be all right. Thomas now, big argument with Frank Walsh, the home plate umpire. Charlie Neal is coming in to keep Thomas in the ball game. Frank's still trying to get the walk. Now it's going to be Casey Stengel coming out of the dugout. And here comes Ken Burkhardt to even up the side. Burkhardt, the umpire at first base. Stengel. Now he's in the argument. Frank Walsh, the umpire, and Frank Thomas is back in there. And also here comes Jocko Conlon. So all of the umpires, with the exception of Chris Palacutis, who is staying out of it, on one side. And on the other side, Casey Stengel, Frank Thomas, and Charlie Neal. Frank is arguing there's a possibility he might have been kicked out of the ball game. Frank coming off the diamond now. He might have been ejected from the game the way he got back in the argument. We'll check right away and see. Yes, he's out of the ball game. Frank now going to clubhouse. So Thomas has been ejected from the game by Frank Walsh. That is why Casey Stengel has extended the argument. That's all for Frank Thomas. At least for the first game of this doubleheader. The score 1-0, the Mets lead. We're in the bottom half of the 4th inning. A home run by Duke Snider, putting the Mets on top here in the 4th. Batter now is Chico Fernandez. Chico had a base hit to left center fielder's first time up. He's batting .224. And Law's first pitch is low, a curveball for ball 1. Back, a bunt attempt, it's foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. And while we wait for a new ball to be put in play, we'll pause for station identification.
Your turn.
afternoon to WGY Schenectady, your New York Met station. The time is 1 minute after 3 and the temperature is 82 degrees.
Thomas ejected by home plate umpire Frank Walsh for arguing on a called third strike. Ball misses with a slider outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Fernandez. Here's the right-hander back to work. And again outside, this time with a curve. And the count goes to 3-2. The on-deck batter is Charlie Neal. 3-2, and he misses low outside for ball 4. That gives Fernandez first base free and brings up Charlie Neal. Second walk issued by Vernon Law. Law has given up 1 run on 3 hits. A home run to Duke Snider. Pirates have no runs on 4 hits. Charlie fouled out his first time up. He's batting .232. Right hand batting third baseman. Mets bowls in for a chance at a double play, and the first pitch is inside for ball 1. Left side of the infield for the Bucks, I should say, playing an awful shallow double play depth. Back to Law. He goes to the shortstop, covering at second. The return to first base is in time, a double play. 1-6-3 if you're keeping the scorecard. That retires the side, but the Mets scored 1 run on a home run by Duke Snider. That was the only base hit in the inning. There were no errors. 1 man ejected from the game, Frank Thomas, and 1 man, no one left on. And the score at the end, 4 innings of play. The Mets won, the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. And now to bring you up to date on the scores around the league, here is Bob Murphy. Okay, Ralph, Duke Snider will go to left field, and Eddie Craneville now comes in the game to play right field. In other games, Carl Warwick homered in the second at Milwaukee. Houston won, Milwaukee nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Bob Bruce against Denny LeMaster. The Braves are in the Polo grounds playing the Mets on Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. They're in the 9th inning at County Mack Stadium. The Phillies lead the Chicago Cubs 5-2 behind Cal McClish, who has been pitching brilliant ball. Jim Brewer, Paul Cope, and Barney Schultz for the Cubs. Home runs by Billy Williams, Jim Lemon, and Nelson Matthews. That's the first game of a doubleheader today in Philadelphia. Willie Mays hit a 2-run homer in the opening inning, and the Giants lead the Cardinals 2-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Juan Marichal against Ernie Broglio. They ought to have a lot of excitement out in St. Louis. The Cardinals, a red-hot ball club, are now just a game out of first place. Dodgers nothing, Cincinnati nothing at the end of an inning and a half. Johnny Padres against Jim O'Toole. In the American League, they're in the 8th inning. Cleveland 4, Yankees nothing. Bill Stafford against Jack Crilly. Home runs by Joe Adcock with 2 on, and Jose Askew with the bases clear. Red Sox 2 on a 2-run homer by Dick Stewart. White Sox nothing after an inning and a half. Smokey Burgess fouls the first pitch off. Allison has hit his 13th home run in the second inning at Minneapolis. Twins lead the Tigers 1-0. Bill Fall against Jim Cott. That first game is over now in Philadelphia. Phillies win it 5-2. Cal McClish all the way for the victory, and Jim Brewer the loser. Right here, a 2-strike count on Smokey Burgess. Smokey hit a line drive double to left center field his first time up. Now Roger over the head. In comes his pitch. Outside and high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Duke Snider now playing left field. Eddie Craneville is in right. Frank Thomas banished by umpire Frank Walsh for arguing too strenuously on a call of a 3rd strike. Now the pitch on the way. Breaking ball in the dirt, and the count even 2-2. Mets lead 1-0 on the home run by Duke Snider, his 9th of the year. Duke now needs just 2 more to reach 400. Now Craig delivers 2-2. A curve hit on the ground towards Ronnie Hunt. Hunt digs it out of the dirt. Takes to Harkness, one away. And nobody on. The batter will be Donn Clendenon. Clendenon 0 for 1 was thrown out by Roger Craig his first time up. Now Roger winding the pitch to Clendenon. A fastball that's high. 1 ball and no strikes. Opening game of a doubleheader. McBean and Tracy Stoddard, the second game pitchers today. Tomorrow night, the Mayor's Trophy game in Yankee Stadium starting at 8 o'clock. Both teams will be fielding their regular lineups as the Mets and the Yankees turn out to help the Sandlot baseball program in New York. Breaking ball low and outside, 2-0 on Donn Clendenon. On the way, and it's outside, ball 3, so Roger goes behind on Clendenon 3-0. Craig will consistently pitch very well behind the hitter. He may walk Clendenon, but nonetheless, it usually is of little concern when he falls this far behind. Strike called on the outside corner, 3-1. Sherry to the mound now to see Roger Craig while Donn Clendenon goes to the rosin bag. Roger relies on real good control to go with his stuff and a lot of pitching knowledge. And he will consistently, on the first 2 pitches, try to get the hitter to go for his pitch. And if he misses the strike zone, it doesn't concern him. Now the 3-1 pitch. That's over, strike 2. Craig winding, here's the payoff pitch. A smash it hard, a base hit going to left field. Duke Snider fielding the ball in left, pegs it back in now to Chico Fernandez. So Donn Clendenon has singled to left. That's base hit number 5 for the Pirates. 1 away and 1 on, and the batter is the third baseman, Bob Bailey. A little bit low, 1 ball and no strikes. Roger trying to get Bailey to go after a breaking ball, hoping to make him hit it on the ground and give the infield a shot at the double play. The outfield playing a stride toward left. Now Craig ready. Delivers a check swing, slow ground ball down toward Harkness. Harkness will have to tag Bailey on the line. Clendenon moves to second. He didn't mean to hit that one. He was holding up on the swing. Now there are 2 away, and the Pittsburgh hurler, Vern Law, will be coming on to hit. He singled to center field in the 3rd inning. Law hitting .286. Be a great thing if the Pirates could ever develop a catcher named Order. Donn Clendenon on second. Now Craig comes to the stop, and the breaking ball is inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. fifth inning. Swing and a miss on a slider. 1 ball, 1 strike. Check with his battery mate, Norm Sherry. The 1-1 pitch. A looping pop-up out towards shallow center. Out goes Ron Hunt as he has it for the out. No runs, 1 hit. No errors and 1 left on. So we have come halfway at the end of 4 1/2 to score. The Mets 1 and the Pirates nothing. Well, it's mighty pretty this time of the year, and it kind of leaves you with one big impression. Nature is a pretty wonderful thing. Yes, sir, let nature take its course and things turn out excellently. The natural way is generally the best. You know, this is true with beer, too. Beer brewed the natural way is more refreshing and it tastes better. Now, Rheingold Extra Dry is brewed the natural way. Sure, it's the long, slow, costlier way, but it pays off in taste. A taste that's brisk and bright and clean, clear through. That's why we say that Rheingold Extra Dry is beer as beer should taste. Now look, why don't you do the natural thing? Enjoy a tall, foaming glass of Rheingold Extra Dry and discover the difference that dry makes. You'll be glad you did. Only remember to make it Rheingold. Rheingold Extra Dry. Hitting for New York against the Deacon, Vern Law. The game goes down to the last half of the 5th inning. Norm 0 for 1. Hit a ground ball down to Bailey into a forced play in the 2nd inning. Tried to hold up on the swing. He was fooled by the breaking ball. He had gone too far. Strike 1. The pitch to Sherry. Fastball over at the knees for a call strike. Now Vernon looking into Smokey Burgess. Pitches 1 and 2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Confused on the count, watches as the ball goes around the infield. Now he's asking umpire Frank Walsh. The Pirates think they have him struck out. Here comes Sally Amos. There is real confusion on the count. Norm Sherry, after swinging and missing on the pitch, we thought he was struck out. Pirates snapped the ball around the infield. Sherry just kept standing there and now checks with Frank Walsh. Sally Amos comes up off the lines at first. After checking the indicator, Norm Sherry is a strikeout victim. Third strikeout for Vernon Law, and it brings up Roger Craig. Ball 1, low and outside. Call strike. Roger takes all the way on it. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-1 delivery. Ground ball past the mound toward short. Fielded on the run by Schofield. A peg to first in time, and Craig is out. Schofield has a wide range at shortstop and goes particularly well to his glove side. 2 outs and nobody on now. Jimmy Piersall is the hitter. Jimmy has been hitting the ball real well, but he hasn't been able to find any holes for it. He hit a real shot his last time up that went off the hand of Vern Law and was then handled by the shortstop Schofield, who threw him out. And Jim, in disgust at hitting the hard shots right at somebody, flipped that helmet high in the air. He hit the ball real well his first time up, a long drive to right center, and Willie Stargell ran it down. So the base hits have not been dropping for Piersall, but he's been in one of those streaks where he's been hitting the ball hard, but right at somebody. Nobody on as Vern Law goes into his windup. Pitch to Piersall. Jimmy bluffs at a bunt, and it's outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. He brought Donn Clendenon and Bob Bailey in on the run, and he bluffed that one. Now Piersall bending from the waist. Whacks it foul back over our broadcasting booth and out of play. 1 ball, 1 strike. New York 1, Pittsburgh nothing. This is the last half of inning number 5. Swing and a miss on a slider. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Delivery. Check swing, a ground ball is fair down the first baseline. Clendenon handles it easily and makes the play at first unassisted to erase the Mets. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. 5 innings complete. The score of the New York Mets 1 and the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. Now come on along as we tune in melodious tones. Join the fan club. Try Rheingold Extra Dry. It's crisp, bright, and clean clear through. It's beer as beer should taste.
It's not bitter, it's not sweet, it's a dry flavor treat. Won't you try Extra Dry Rheingold beer? Dick Schofield, the Pirate leadoff batter, is up for the 3rd time. Schofield batting left-handed against Craig. It's been up twice, and both times Roger has struck him out. Ground ball, foul going down the first baseline, and Ron Norby on the coaching line handles this one. Schofield had 3 hits and 5 times up, and also drew a walk. He was on base 4 times, so he did quite a job of setting the table in the Pirate win yesterday. Now Craig over the head delivers to Schofield. A slow ground ball. That hit his foot. It's a foul ball. Although it rolled in fair territory and Harkness grabbed it, it is ruled a foul ball. Ball hit Schofield on the ankle, and after it hit his ankle, it came out in fair territory. And now we've got a rhubarb going on it, and they want to look the ball over to see if they can determine for sure that he was hit by it. Oh, this is one of those games where
arguments are popping up like intermittent rain. Two strikes hard win yesterday. Now Craig over the head delivers to Schofield. A slow ground ball. That hit his foot. It's a foul ball. Although it rolled in fair territory and Harkness grabbed it, it is ruled a foul ball. Ball hit Schofield on the ankle, and after hitting his ankle came out in fair territory. And now he's got a rhubarb going on it, and they want to look the ball over to see if they can determine for sure that he was hit by it. Well, this is one of those games where little arguments are popping up like intermittent rain. Two strikes to count on Dick Schofield. Now Slim has his sign from Norm Sherry. Winds and pitches. A little bit high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitching 1 and 2. Slow ground ball off the mound comes Craig in a hurry. Other hands the toss to Harkness, and Schofield is out. One away, nobody on. The batter will be Bill Virdon. Virdon, the center fielder, singled to right in the first inning and was thrown out by Craig in the third inning. Bill Virdon hitting at .232. Veteran, a lifetime average of .268. Inside and low, that goes to the backstop. Nobody on, nobody hurt, and the count 2 balls and no strikes. Last year, he fell off to .247 from the .260 of the previous year. Good defensive ball player, and center field area in Forbes Field in Pittsburgh is one of the largest. Now the 2-0 pitch. A line drive towards center, base hit beyond the reach of Chico Fernandez. Bill Virdon swings around first. He's on. That is the 6th Pittsburgh hit. They've had 1 hit in each of the 6 innings so far. Stargell, the right fielder, a left-hand hitter, got a base hit his last time up. He's 1 for 2. Good curve by Craig is in. Strike called. Pitching duel going between 2 veteran right-handers, Roger Craig and Vernon Law. Mets have the infield hoping for 2. A quick throw to first, done in time. Willie Stargell was on first in the 4th inning. Craig picked him off. Earlier this year, he picked off Joe Torre. Now the pitch on the way. Swing and a miss on an off-speed pitch, strike 2. Braves with a red-hot Henry Aaron will be in for a game on Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. Aaron last year wound up 3rd in the major leagues in home runs. He trailed Willie Mays and Harmon Killebrew. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One real power hitter can turn a lot of things around for a ball club. Minnesota Twins were really struggling, trying to stay out of the cellar while Harmon Killebrew was on the sidelines, and as soon as he got back in the lineup and got going, the
Twins caught fire. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Strike 3 call. Willie Stargell caught looking at a breaking ball in the outside corner. Strikeout number 5 for Roger Craig, and now there are 2 away. Nobody will ever forget the way Willie Mays turned the fortunes of the Giants around when he came up. The cleanup batter. He hits right-handed. Breaking ball outside and low. 1 ball and no strike. Maz has flied to center and grounded out short to first. He is 0 for 2. Mazeroski replaced Dick Grote as the captain of the Pittsburgh club, and he always brings the lineup slips out for the meeting at home plate. That's over at the knees for a call strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. Pittsburgh nothing. We're in the top of the 6th inning. Bill Virdon leading off first, 2 men down. A throw to first, not in time. Now Roger pitches. Foul ball hit down the third baseline. Charlie Neal tracking it down and foul ground, and the count now 1 ball and 2 strikes on Mazeroski. Mazeroski, although still a young man, is now the dean of the Pittsburgh infield. Count of 1 and 2 on Maz. Let's have the defense just about straight away. Shaded a little bit toward left. A line drive hit right down the left field line. Into the seat. It was foul by inches. Chris Pellicudis at first started to call a home run, but checked his hand in midair, whirled, and said foul ball. Our broadcasting point here in the Polo grounds, we look right smack dab down the left field line. If you ever saw a line drive hit right down a line, that was it. Usually they are hooking back toward the foul pole. But that ball was hit on a line by Mazeroski, and it was as straight as a string right down the line, and at the last moment it was fouled by just inches. Had the ball been fair, it would have hit the screen. But that was a close call. They have the screen attached to the foul pole. The screen is in fair territory, and had that ball been fair, it would have definitely hit the screen. All over in Cleveland, a 2-hit shutout for Jack Kralik as the Indians beat the Yankees today 5-0. Bill Stafford, the loser, home runs by Joe Adcock with 2 on, and Jose Askew with the bases clear. 1 and 2, the count on Mazeroski. And he threw a king-size scare into the New York Mets with that one. Now Craig checks the runner. Here's the pitch. Foul off the plate, coming back, no play. At the end of 3 innings in Chicago, the Red Sox lead the White Sox 2-1. Bill Monbouquet against Ray Herbert. Dick Stewart a 2-run homer, and Ronnie Hansen homered with nobody on. Al Kaline's 2-run homer has Detroit leading the Twins 2-1 after 3.5. Low, ball 2, and the count even 2-2. Bill Fall and Jim Cotter, the pitchers in that game. Count 2-2 on Mazeroski, the Pittsburgh cleanup hitter. Bill Virdon on first base, 2 men down. Now Cowboy Craig has his sign from Norm Sherry. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. For Roger Craig. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left on. And now at the end of 5 innings to score. The Mets 1 and the Pirates nothing. Nobody out. Last half of the 6th inning, a real good one going. Mets in front, 1-0. Now Law winds and pitches. Taken low by Tim Harkness. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Breaking ball high and outside. 2-2. Hitting 253 with 4 homers and 16 runs batted in. Harkness a full hitter with that open batting stance. They play him around toward right field. The 2-2 pitch hit hard on the ground. Stabbed by Clendenon, and he throws to the pitcher Law in time for the out. Right here before Ron Hunt comes on to hit. Let's pause for station identification.
Your G1 is Schenectady, 810 on your dial, where the time is 3:32 and the temperature is 82 degrees.
Bob Murphy with Lindsey Nelson and Ralph Kiner. 1 out and nobody on. Last of the 6th inning, here's Ron Hunt. Ron 0 for 2, both times has been thrown out by the Deacon. Duke Snider waiting on deck. Duke's home run, the only scoring in the game. He lays off. It's outside and low. 1 ball and no strikes. Now Law checking with the veteran Smokey Burgess. Pitch to Ronnie Hunt. Bounced foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Coaching at first and Cookie Lanagetto at third. Baseline coaches have had little to do in this game today. A high pop fly to short left field. Coming in, Jerry Lynch. He has it for the out. 2 outs and nobody on. Now here is Duke Snider coming up. Duke now has 398 home runs. He needs 2 more to become the 9th man in the history of baseball to hit 400 or more home runs. Fastball in the inside corner, a strike. Well, we hope you have a good supply of Rheingold Extra Dry on hand at your pleasure of the weekend. Rheingold is beer as beer should taste. Pitch to Snider, a swing and a miss on a high hardwood. That's number 1 rooter, Mrs. Joan Shipman Payson is here watching the game today. She has as her guest her sister, Mrs. Benjamin Holt of Portland, Maine. Her sister-in-law, beg your pardon. In the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody on, last half of the 6th. And Snider swings and misses, strike 3. Vernon Law having his 4th strikeout in 6 innings, the Mets go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 6 innings, the score, the New York Mets 1 and the Pittsburgh Pirates nothing. And now as we get set for inning number 7, here to detail every exciting play for you, Lindsey Nelson. All right, Bob Murphy. We'll be going to the top of the 7th here. At this time, we'd like to remind you that on June 22nd, we'll have a big day here at the Polo Grounds. It'll be the 2nd annual Old Timers Day. And acceptances keep coming in from established major leaguers who were born or reared in this area, who will take part in that Old Timers Day game here at the Polo Grounds on Saturday afternoon, June 22nd. Some of them will be here for the celebration. Men like Ralph Branca, the former Dodger ace, who now has his own radio and television show, and in addition to an insurance business. Bobby Thompson, who also dabbles in television, although he is primarily an executive with a paper and pulp firm. Hank Greenberg, the Hall of Famer from James Monroe High School in the Bronx, has his own brokerage business. Tommy Holmes, who played with the Boston Braves and later managed that club, is an executive with an electronics firm on Long Island. Johnny Murphy, the old farmer of the Yankees, is an administrative assistant to President George M. White of the Mets. They'll all be here on June 22nd. The Old Timers will split up into National and American League games and play an abbreviated game before the regularly scheduled game that day between the Phillies and the Mets. Tickets are now on sale, and we hope you'll be on hand. Here's Jerry Lynch at the plate to lead off for the Pirates in the top of the 7th. Roger Craig pitches in there for a called strike. Lynch has grounded out to first base and struck out swinging thus far today. The Mets leading here by the very thin margin of 1 run, 1-0. Craig has the sign, starts the motion. Pitch is swung out and chopped off foul. It's a 2-strike count now to Jerry Lynch. This is the first game of a scheduled doubleheader at the Polo Grounds today. And as Bob Murphy has told you, we have our usual quarter of banners on hand, brought here, and some of them, I think, prepared here by Mets fans. They get out additions every few minutes. Craig now moves off the mound to straighten out the dirt where he's been striding. Rubs up the ball. Now turns to get his sign from Norm Sherry. Here's the 2-strike pitch. Swung on, it's a ground ball that is going to second base. Hart is up with it, goes on to first in time. Looks as though Roger Craig deflected the ball. We'll see what the official score says. Looks as though Craig deflected it just a little because Hunt changed direction. So make it 1-4-3. He did. Just barely got a glove on it. So if you're scoring, make it 1-4-3. Pitcher to second to first. 1 man out, nobody on base, and that'll bring up Smokey Burgess. Burgess doubled. And the top of the second, it was in between it. It went all the way to the wall in front of the bleachers in center field. But Smokey is not exactly noted as being the fastest man in the league, and he was content to pull up safely at second. He grounded out second to first in the top of the 5th. Craig's breaking ball is swung on and fouled off for strike 1. Walsh is the umpire behind the plate, and Roger Craig wants another ball, and he is getting it. Craig getting a sign again from Norm Sherry. Here's the pitch. For ball 1. It's 1-1. Donn Clendenon is on deck. We're in the top of the 7th with 1 man out and nobody on base. Ryan Hunt at second base is playing about 5 steps back on the edge of the outfield grass on left-hand batter Smokey Burgess. Here's a pitch missing outside. It's 2-1 as Craig goes behind now to Burgess. Ed Kranepool
playing right field. Duke Snider in left field for the Mets. As Frank Thomas was ejected from the ball game by plate umpire Frank Walsh in the 4th inning for protesting a called third strike. Now the 2-1 pitch to Burgess. Swung on and chopped off the plate over into foul territory. It goes as a foul strike. It's 2-2. Norm Sherry feeds the ball. Frank Walsh wants Craig to touch him to let him examine it. He does and leaves it in play. The ball was chopped off the plate and Burgess asked that it be examined. What the umpire looks for when he looks at that ball is any signs of discoloration, any blemish that might be on the ball. Here's a pitch swung on and fouled off out of play down past Frank Yosiak, the coach at third. Well, it was nip and tuck between the ball boy and the fans that time. And the fan got it, and he's a hero in his section of the Polo ground. 2-2 is the count to Burgess at the plate. Well, there's one thing for sure. When National League Baseball came back to New York, a lot of people who think that baseball is a lot of fun are glad to see it come back, and they turn out in great numbers here. And they enjoy themselves. Here's 2-2 pitch, swung on and fouled back. There's no play on it. Cherry turns, but this one's in the upper deck. The count holds at 2-2. One man out, nobody on base. Mets leading by a score of 1-0 in the top of the 7th. This is the first game of a scheduled doubleheader. Burgess is in and waiting. Craig with the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, it's a ground ball towards second. Hunt takes it on the outfield grass, so it's the first in time. So Burgess has grounded out second to first, 2 men out, nobody on. I thought that he could play that deeply back there, of course, on Burgess and still make the play in time, and he did. With a faster man up there, he could not afford to play that position because he couldn't throw him out even if he made the play cleanly. Donn Clendenon is coming up now with 2 men out, nobody on base. He had a single in the top of the 5th. Now right to Craig. Starts the motion. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. I remember a World Series game in 1957 in Milwaukee. Jerry Coleman at second base played Eddie Matthews deeply, and the ground ball was hit right at him, and Matthews beat it out for base hit, and the Braves went on to rally and win a ball game. Here's the pitch high and away for a ball. It's 1-1. So that, of course, is a part of Major League Baseball, knowing your hitters, knowing where to play them and where you can afford to play them to get the little extra advantage by positioning yourself. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back and out of play. We were talking to Dick Grote out in St. Louis. He, of course, was the field captain of these Pirates for so many years before going to St. Louis this year. Grote said that he was well aware that he had slowed up a step or two at this stage of his career, but figured that he made up for it in knowledge that he'd gained through the years in being able to place himself advantageously on the various hitters so that he didn't need the extra step or two to get to the ball. Craig getting a sign, and here is the 1-2 pitch. Fired tight, turned him inside. It's 2-2. 2 men out, nobody on base. The Mets leading here by a score of 1-0. Here is the 2-2 pitch. It's in there for a call. Strike 3. Struck him out. For the first time today, Roger Craig sets the side down in order. The first inning in which the Pirates have not had a base hit. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. And at the end of 6.5 innings, it's the Mets 1, the Pirates nothing. And now a word from Viceroy Cigarette.
Gather round, you filter smokers, listen to the Brothers Four with a Viceroy history lesson like you never heard before. Columbus sailed you'd like a filter cigarette to taste. That's right, and ho, cry the lookout, the USA ahead. Well, pass the mic, boys, round again. Is what Columbus said, and that is how Columbus discovered this new land. That's how the crew discovered too that Viceroy is their friend. Not too strong, not too light. Viceroy's got the taste that's right. That's right. That's right. Viceroy.
We're going to the bottom of the seventh now, and the Mets will be sending up Ed Cranepool. It'll be coming up for the first time when Frank Thomas was ejected by umpire Frank Walsh in the fourth inning. Cranepool went into the outfield, and it's coming up here for the first time. Brennan Law, who started, is still in the ball game. Cranepool appeared yesterday as a pinch hitter and ruined what had been a perfect game performance and a no-hitter to that point by Bob Friend. It was a little number out in front of the plate, and he beat it out for a base hit. That pitch is low for a ball. 2-0. And the crowd is getting itself aroused here. It's in there for a called strike. It's 2-1. To this point, the Mets have only 3 hits. Here's a swing and a drive into right for a base hit. It's going to be off the wall, played by Stargell. Cranepool will have to hold it first as the throw goes to second. But Eddie Cranepool strung that one out on a line shot into right. Rolled all the way to the wall, and the ricochet was played by Stargell. So coming up now is Chico Fernandez. He has singled and walked today. That's hit number 4 for the Mets off Vernon Law. Mets leading by a score of 1-0. I see Big Bob Beal up and throwing down there in the bullpen for the Pittsburgh Pirates now, along with Tommy Sitt. Right-handed Tommy Sitt, left-handed Bob Beal up and throwing in the bullpen for the Pirates. While Chico Fernandez checks with Steinman, Cookie Lavaghetto at third. See how Casey Single's going to play it here. The Mets have a 1-run lead. We're in the bottom of the seventh, so the Pirates must protect against the likelihood of a sacrifice. He squares, does not butt the pitches high. That's what Donn Clendenon at a gallop from his position at third. At the first, Bob Bailey is playing a shallow third base. Chico had shortened up on the bat as though to bunt. He does not exactly square when he bunts. He shortens up and bunts. Throw to first and falling back in, grabbing the bag with his bare hand is Cranepool. Law now is set. Here's the pitch. Swung on, and it is a foul ball coming off and out of play. 1-1 is the count. Donn Clendenon had started to charge at first base, and Fernandez took his full cut, so Casey now has had the sacrifice on one, headed off once. Let's see if he's alternating. Might have it back on here. There's a 1-1 count. Now the pitch swung on and fouled off. He took his full cut again. So the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Fernandez. In to get his side now. As it, Cranepool leads at first as a throw over. He's back safely. Donn Clendenon is the first baseman. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swung on, foul back. Out of play. 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Chico Fernandez, batting number 6 in the batting order for Casey Singles Mets today. Charlie Neal is on deck. Nobody out in the bottom of the seventh. We'll
We'll be on the air tomorrow night at 7:55 p.m. from Yankee Stadium to bring you the game between the Yanks and the Mets. The 1-2 pitch is a pitch out. Nothing on, and it's 2-2. Now it's figuring that Casey might have something on there, might have Crane Pool going, and call for the pitch out. It's 2-2. He might have now. Pitch is swung on line into left, and it's going to be in there for a base hit. It is one hop by Lynch, plays it back in, holding it second is Crane Pool, and on at first is Chico Fernandez. So the Mets have put base hits back-to-back here for the first time in this game, and the bottom of the seventh. Give them base runners at first and second, nobody out, and Charlie Neal coming up. Smokey Burgess has gone out to the mound to check with Vernon Law. 5 hits for the Mets now off Law. A lone run in the game came on a fourth-inning home run by Duke Snider. Charlie Neal looks down to Cookie Lavagetto to see what Casey wants put on here. Pirates, of course, will have to protect against the likelihood of a sacrifice in this situation. With nobody out. Clendenon at first base comes in on the edge of the grass. Time is called by Chico Fernandez as the Mets are getting someone in from the bullpen. Sammy Taylor is running along the wall and comes on in now. And Casey wants to have him available as a pinch hitter. Checks, and here is the pitch. Neal Jordan takes the pitch in there for a called strike. He bluffed the bunt, did not offer to bunt it actually, and took the called strike. The Pirates are playing at Clendenon, charging at first. Bailey at the bag at third, and we're going to let Law handle anything down the third baseline. Strike one count now to Neal. Clendenon still in on the edge of the grass at first. Here's the pitch swung on, and it's a fly ball to center field. Crane Pool will have to go back to second. He's there. Virdon takes the ball. Crane Pool tags, draws the throw, does not go. There's no at bat. On the fly ball to center. Crane Pool was running on the pitch. So the runners at first and second still with one man out, and Norm Sherry coming up. Sherry has hit into a forced play and struck out swinging here today. Leading 1-0. Now Sammy Taylor comes out to the on-deck circle, and Sherry is going to be called back. So Taylor is going to bat for Sherry. Casey single going to the left-hand batter against right-hander Vernon Law here. To try to get a little something extra in here in the bottom half of the seventh inning, because one run is not so very much. To this point in the game, the Mets have one run on 5 hits and no errors. The Pirates have no runs on 6 hits and no errors. Taylor batting for Sherry. Taylor has been up only 3 times since rejoining the New York Mets from Buffalo, and he has 1 hit, so his batting average is .333. Steps in, measures his distance with the handle of the bat. Vernon Law checked. His runners lead at first and second. The pitch is swung on and missed for strike one. Crane Pool at second. Chico Fernandez at first. Fernandez is 2 for 2 and a walk today. Let's go Mets is what the cat says. A little levered on the first baseline. Law will have to play it, and he does. On over to Clendenon in time. Runners at batting. Clendenon bluffing the big throw across the third, but Crane Pool was only about a foot off the bag. So runners move up as Taylor grounds out pitcher to first, and that will bring up Roger Craig. Roger's been up 27 times this year and has only 2 hits. He has grounded out and was called out on strikes today. With a chance here to do 2 men out. Choo-choo Coleman is going down toward the bullpen area with catcher's glove. Here's a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. It is strike one. Greg standing right in there as Law starts the motion again. Swing and a miss. It's strike two. Smokey Bird just bluffed to throw to second. Fernandez is the base runner there. 2 strike count to Craig. Affirmatively, he has the sign, the 2-strike pitch. Low for a ball. It's 1-2. The end of this half inning, we'll bring you up to date on scores of other games played all around the major leagues this afternoon. Vernon Law with the 1-2 pitch. And it's in there for a call, strike 3. As Roger Craig is called out on strikeout number 5 for Vernon Law, and in the bottom of the 7th, the Mets got no runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. In the 7 full innings of play, it's the Mets 1 and the Pirates nothing. And now to bring you up to date on scores of other games all around the majors, here's Ralph Kiner.
In a single game, Houston won, Milwaukee won after 4.5 innings of play. Bob Buse against Denny LeMaster, a home run by Warwick in the second with no one on. Of the first game, Philadelphia 5, Chicago 2. Winning pitcher was McGlish. He's now 5-2. Home runs by Williams, Lemon, and Matthews. In the second game, it's Cal Kuntz against Art Mahaffey. No score after 1.5. San Francisco 3, St. Louis nothing after 4.5 innings to play. Juan Marshall, who has a 7-3 record, going for the Giants on the shutout. Pitching for St. Louis is Ernie Broglio. A home run by Mays in the first with 1 on for 2 of the 3 runs for the Giants. The Cincinnati Reds with 5 runs in the bottom half of the second lead Los Angeles by a score of 5-0 after 4.5. Countless now pitching in place of Padres for the Dodgers. Jim O'Toole with an 8-3 record going for the Cincinnati Reds. In the American League, a 2-hit shutout by Jack Kralik defeated the Yankees 5-0. The losing pitcher was Stafford. Adcock and Askew home runs in that game. In the second game, it's Williams against McDowell. Washington at Kansas City. Daniels against Bozefield. That game not yet underway. Boston 6, Chicago 2 at the end of 4. Mambo Kett and DeBuscher. Stewart and Hanson home runs in that one. And that's the first of 2. Also, the American League, Detroit 3, Minnesota 3 at the end of 5.5. Fall against Cott. Home runs by Allison, Kaline, Killebrew, and Calavito. Baltimore scheduled at Los Angeles. That's the story around the league, and now here is Lindsey Nelson once again.
Okay, Ralph, and Sammy Taylor staying in the ball game behind the plate for the New York Mets. Bob Bailey is up, and Roger Craig starts the motion. The pitch is swung. It's a ground ball deep at short, taken by Fernandez. Long through, and he's safe at first base. He's safe at first base. And we're going to get a pinch hitter. Johnny Logan has got a bat for Vernon Law. Roy Pace is now throwing in the bullpen for the Pittsburgh Pirates. As Bailey bounced that ball deep to short, Fernandez fielded it, put all he had on it, so over to first and just not in time to get Bailey. It's an infield hit. Now, Johnny Logan is coming up. Batting for Law, with Pace throwing in the bullpen. Pirates kept that leadoff man on base here in the top half of the 8th inning. The Mets leading by a score of 1-0. Let's see how Danny Murtaugh plays it here. Craig now with the pitch, and it's in there for a called strike. He was not squared. He was set for swing away. Hogan has taken a look down at Frank Osiak, the sign man for the Pirates at third base. Bob Bailey is the base runner. And Craig started the pitch as Logan backed out and asked that the ball be examined. And a new ball is being put in play. John Logan has been up 11 times this year, has 4 hits for an average of 364. Little Al Jackson is throwing in the bullpen now for the Mets. Left-hander Al Jackson. Here's the pitch. Low and away for a ball. Harkness moved in several steps to protect against the bunt possibility. It's 1-1 now to Johnny Logan. shakes off a sign and now nods affirmatively. Bailey leads at first, and here's the pitch. Swung on, and it's pelted into center field. Piersall is going back and makes the catch. Piersall started in, circled around, and then backed up to make the catch. No advance by Bailey at first. There's one away as Logan lines out to center field. And that will bring up Dick Schofield. He's a switch hitter, batting left, of course, in this game. Struck out swinging, and grounded out pitcher to first. Schofield settles himself easily into the batter's box. Roger Craig has his sign now as Bailey leads off the bag at first. And the pitch, the breaking ball, it's in there for a call strike to Dick Schofield. Roy Face continuing to throw in the bullpen for the Pirates. Al Jackson continuing to warm up for the Mets. The second game here today, Tracy Stallard is scheduled to pitch for the Mets. Al McBean for the Pirates. Here's a throw over. It's not in time. Craig has one pickoff to his credit today. He picked off Willie Stargell. Tries again. Falling back in there is Bob Bailey. Here's a pitch, and it's fouled off. Out of play. 2-strike count now to Schofield. Roger Craig figured that he has a better chance, as far as pickout is concerned, with men who are new in the league, because the fellas who have been around a while don't take too many chances with Roger Craig. Of course, that's what you want to achieve. If you can keep a short holder on them just by reputation, that's so much the better. Bailey leads off first. Pitch is low for a ball. It's 1-2. Sammy Taylor back there behind the plate now. Top half of the 8th inning with the Mets leading by a score of 1-0. Craig has his sign. Set. Here's the pitch. Low. Taken on a short hop by Taylor. It's 2-2 now to Schofield. See if Danny Murtaugh has anything on here. Bob Bailey's his base runner at first. Takes his lead. Pitch is low, and it's 3-2 now. Nothing on. A full count to Schofield. Count to Schofield with Bailey at first. Bailey leads. Here's a throw over. Not in time. Again, Craig with the pitch. And it's high. He walked him. That is the first walk given up today by Roger Craig. It moves Bailey to second. And before Virdon comes up, in order to allow our stations to identify themselves, we pause for station identification.
You are tuned to WGY Schenectady, your New York Met station. The time is 4 minutes after 4, and the temperature is 83 degrees.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at the Polo Grounds. The Pirates now have runners at first and second. We have one man out, and left-hand batter Bill Virdon at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today. Singled in the first inning, grounded out pitcher to first in the third, and singled in the sixth. Pitch misses for ball 1. Craig picked up his cap, settled it back on his head. Bailey leading at second, Schofield leading at first. Here's the pitch to Virdon. Swung on it, the ground ball going toward second base. Taken by Hunt, and he goes and gets the middleman. There is no further throw. As Fernandez took it to fourth, Schofield. Bailey moving on to third. Harkness had gone for the ball, and Craig had started a little late to first. It would have been tough to get anybody at first base on a play like that. Hunt fired on over to Chico in time to get the middleman. They're runners at first and third now with 2 men out. So Virdon becomes the base runner at first. Schofield is out. Hunt to Fernandez with Bailey moving to third on the play, and Willie Stargell is up. Struck out swinging.
singled and was called out on strike. He beat one out in the top of the fourth. After Hunt had gone to his right to field the ball, got it over there cleanly, but just not in time to get Willie Stargell. Craig is set, and here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled off. It's strike one. The Mets lead by a score of 1-0. First game of the scheduled doubleheader. On a summer's day at the Polo Grounds. Let's see if Danny Murtaugh has anything on here. Bob Bailey's his base runner at first. Takes his lead. Pitch is low, and it's 3-2 now. Nothing on. A full count to Schofield. One man out, a full count to Schofield with Bailey at first. Bailey leads. Here's a throw over. Not in time. Again, Craig with the pitch. And it's high. He walked him. That is the first walk given up today by Roger Craig. It moves Bailey to second. And before Virdon comes up, in order to allow our stations to identify themselves, we pause for station identification.
You are tuned to WGY Schenectady, your New York Met station. The time is 4 minutes after 4, and the temperature is 83 degrees.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Kiner and Bob Murphy at the Polo Grounds. The Pirates now have runners at first and second with one man out and left-hand batter Bill Virdon at the plate. He's 2 for 3 today, singled in the first inning, grounded out pitch to first in the third, and singled in the sixth. Pitch misses for ball one. Up his cap, settles it back on his head. Bailey leading at second and Schofield leading at first. Here's the pitch to Virdon. Swung on, it's a ground ball going towards second base. Taken by Hunt, and he goes and gets the middleman. There is no further throw. As Fernandez took it to fourth, Schofield. Bailey moving on to third. Harkness had gone for the ball, and Craig had started a little late to first. It would have been tough to get anybody at first base on a play like that. Hunt fired on over to Chico in time to get the middleman. Their runners at first and third now with 2 men out. So Virdon becomes the base runner at first. Schofield is out. Hunt to Fernandez with Bailey moving to third on the play, and Willie Stargell is up. Struck out swinging, singled, and was called out on strike. He beat one out in the top of the fourth. After Hunt had gone to his right to field the ball, got it over there cleanly, but just not in time to get Willie Stargell. Craig is set, and here's the pitch. Swung on, it's fouled off. It's strike one. The Mets lead by a score of 1-0. First game of a scheduled doubleheader. On a summer's day at the Polo Grounds. Again is set as runners lead. Pitch is swung on, it's a ground ball to first. Taken by Harkness. He'll make the play unassisted. And the side's retired. So Stargell is out on a ground ball to first and in the top of the eighth. The Pirates got no runs on 1 hit, no Met errors, and 2 Pirates left at the end of 7.5 innings. It's the Mets 1, the Pirates nothing. Coming up now, a tune I know you're going to like.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet, it's a dry flavor treat. Won't you try extra dry Rheingold beer?
Join in and treat yourself to the clean, sparkling taste of New York's favorite beer, Rheingold Extra Dry. Rheingold has a flavor all its own because it's brewed of only the choicest ingredients. Brewed the long, slow, costlier way for flavor that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. It's beer as beer should taste.
My beer is Rheingold, the dry beer. Think of Rheingold whenever you buy beer. It's not bitter, not sweet, it's the dry flavor treat. Won't you try extra dry?
going now to the 8th inning. The bottom half of the 8th, and Roy Face has come on to pitch for the Pittsburgh Pirates. And to tell you all about it and carry you the rest of the way, here is Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsay. And, of course, don't have to talk too much about Elroy Face. He's been recognized as one of the greatest relief pitchers in the history of baseball. This year, he has a record of 2 wins and 13 losses in 14 appearances. He's worked 13 1/3 innings. In that time, he gave up 12 hits, 7 runs, walked 3, and struck out 5. Face, the man with the famous forkball. That's his strikeout pitch. He throws a slider curveball, and he's very sneaky fast. So the Mets have a 1-0 lead as a result of Duke Snider's home run. And we're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. First man up will be Jimmy Piersall against Face. Jimmy has hit the ball well and 2 or 3 times to the plate. Right-hand batter. And the first pitch to Jim has bounced down to second base. Mazeroski puts the glove on it and does the job at first. So 1 pitch by Face, and Piersall's out, and the batter will be Tim Harkness. Say, wouldn't right now be a good time to pour yourself a glass of Rheingold Extra Dry? You bet it would. So open up or order up a Rheingold Extra Dry. It's beer as beer should taste. Jim Hickman now going out to the bullpen to warm up, so we'll see him in the game as a defensive measure in the top of the 9th. First pitch to Harkness, fouled back and out of play for strike 1. Pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates was Vernon Law. He gave up only 5 hits, one of them a home run to Duke Snider. He worked a total of 7 innings, striking out 5 and walking 2. Vern recovered completely from a shoulder ailment. Now the 1 strike pitch. It's high, 1 ball, 1 strike. Now into the windup, the 1-1 pitch. And there's a drive to right. If it's fair, it's going to be out of here, but it's a foul ball. Right off the facade of the roof, down the right field line. The ball fouled by about 10 feet. Really well hit. But Tim Harkness was just a little bit out in front. So, a long strike, and the count now 1-2. There's a curve, a good one for strike 3. Face coming through with a good curveball. That is out number 2. And the strikeout brings up Ron Hunt. Ron is 0 for 3 in the game, batting at .277. This is Face's 15th professional year, his 10th in the major league. There's the ball down the right field line, but it's going to go foul. That 2 in the upper deck. This one foul more so than Harkness. It's a long strike for strike 1. Well, those 2 drives to right, charging up the crowd here as they watch a fine game. The score 1-0. The Mets lead. We're in the bottom half of the 8th inning. And the pitch back to the plate is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Roger Craig going all the way for the Mets. In the 9th, he'll work to Bill Mazeroski, Jerry Lynch, and Smokey Burgess. So Roger has the heart of the batting order to take out in the 9th inning. There's a fastball, a check swing. The ball dribbled out by the pitcher's mound. Face picks it up and makes the play all the way himself. So Face 1, 2, 3. The Mets are out. And the score at the end of 8 innings of play. The New York Mets won. The Pittsburgh Pirates coming to bat in the top of the 9th, nothing. Well, the Mets yearbook, well, it's really been popular, and it's gone into a 2nd edition, with the 1st edition completely sold out. The 2nd and revised edition contains biographical and statistical data on Duke Snider, Ed Kranepool, Ron Hunt, Carl Willie. This 4-color book with Mr. Met on the front cover contains over 100 pictures of your favorite Mets. as well as many special articles. There are stories about Casey Stengel and the coaches, Shea Stadium, the new Stadiorama scoreboard there, the Met farm system, and many other features. Incidentally, on the farm for the Mets, a one-hitter for Steve Dillon. Steve started the season for the Mets, and he's a local boy here and one of the real bright young prospects. But getting back to the Met yearbook, it's almost a must for any sports library, and it can settle some of those discussions you have with your friends in the living room about baseball. To obtain your copy of the revised 1963 Met yearbook, send 50 cents to Met Yearbook, Polo Grounds, New York, 39, New York. Jim Hickman now in left field in place of Duke Snider. Mets need 3 outs to pick up the first victory here in this doubleheader. First man up for Pittsburgh, Bill Mazeroski. And on the mound, Roger Craig. He's gone all the way. And the first pitch is outside for ball 1. The slider down around the knees. Mazeroski just missed a home run by a matter of an inch or two his last time up. He is 0 for 3 in the game. Roger now back to work, and the pitch is on the outside corner this time, the same pitch. That evens the count out of 1 ball and 1 strike. Al Jackson and Larry Bernard warming up for the Mets. Jackson was up in the 8th inning. Now Roger with a 1-1 pitch. A change of pace, a real good one for strike 2. A swing and a miss by Bill Mazeroski. Roger putting the ball way back in his hand. Real good motion on that one. Roger worked out of a jam in the 8th inning. After giving up a base hit and a walk with 1 out, he got Bill Virdon and Willie Stargell. 1-0 lead in the top of the 9th. Pitch back is lined to right. Trey Bull coming on, and he can't get to it. Takes it on the first stop and throws it on in. So the Pirates have the tying run at first base. No one out. And the batter coming up is Jerry Lynch. Bull was set around into right center field for that one and had a long run. He decided he couldn't get to it and put it on the big hop. That base hit, number 8 in the ball game off Roger Craig. Jerry Lynch, a left-hand batter, 0 for 3. Jerry batting .236. And the first pitch is low for ball 1. This is a real tough spot for a pitcher because in this ballpark, you never know with a short line. Lynch has 2 home runs in the series, one of them winning the ball game 2-0 for Don Schwall. Pirates have won the first 2 games of the series. This is the 3rd. Final game coming up right after this. Next pitch back is a strike call. Roger with a breaking pitch in the count now, 1 ball and 1 strike. Looking for and hoping for a double play right here against Lynch. They've had 1 in the game. That was a strikeout double play, number 49 for them. Bouncing ball blocked by Taylor, but it'll give Mazeroski second. Throw goes down there too late. So Roger Craig, wild pitches. Bill Mazeroski, the tying run to second base. There's no one out, and the count now 2 balls and 1 strike on Jerry Lynch. Ball bounced way out in front of the plate. It bounced up and hit Sammy Taylor on the mask and then rolled about 15 feet away. He had no chance to get Mazeroski. 2 balls and 1 strike. And Roger back to the plate. And this curveball is low for ball 3. So Roger now working in the top of the 9th inning. 3 balls and 1 strike to Jerry Lynch. The on-deck batter is Smokey Burgess. Game going all the way down the line. 1-0, the Mets lead. Pitch back is fouled down and away for strike 2. Roger with a slider down around the knees, and it's a full count now. The only run of the game scored in the bottom half of the 4th inning on a home run by Duke Snider. Mets had a chance in the 7th inning as they got their first 2 men on with base hits against Vern Law, but then the next 3 couldn't do a thing. And they were stranded. starts with the time run at second base, no one out. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Roger shaky no on the set of signs given to him. He looks again. Now Craig set, and the pitch is hit hard on the ground to the first baseman Harkness. He takes it, races to the bag, wins the race, and moving to third on the out is Bill Mazeroski. Fine play turned in by Tim Harkness. That ball was well hit. Tim got in front of it and came up with it. So the tying run now at third with 1 out, and the batter, Smokey Burgess. Smokey doubled his first time up. Then he bounced to second his other 2 times up. He is 1 for 3, batting at .274. Roger Craig trying to preserve a shutout and also to keep the Pirates from scoring the tying run. And there's a ball to center. It's going to score the tying run. A base hit. Scoring from third base, Bill Mazeroski, and it's a brand new game. He just hit a real good pitch. A low curveball. He just went down and got it and hit it out to center field for a base hit. Here comes Casey Stengel. That is the 9th hit of the day off for Roger Craig, and it might be all for Roger. Coming in the run for Smokey Burgess, Ron Brand. Little short fellow, 5'9.5". Smokey bothered by 2 problems, bad dogs and lack of speed. Brand running at first base, of course, is the go-ahead run. Ball game tied up 1-1. Casey Stengel talking with Roger Craig in the mound. And we're going to have a change. There goes the sign out. Clendenon, the right-hand batter, is due up next. It's going to be Larry Bernard, the right-hander, coming in the ball game. So while we wait for Bernard to come in, let's check the scores. In the National League, Milwaukee won. Houston won after 5.5 innings of play. Bob Bruce pitching for the Colt 45s. Denny LeMaster for the Braves. Jocko Conlon running all the way out the bullpen to get Larry Bernard. He evidently didn't see the call in by Conlon, and now Conlon all the way out the bullpen to get him to come on in. Incidentally, the Houston Colts, I should say, the Milwaukee Braves will be in here next. The Milwaukee Braves will be in here at the Polo Grounds next on June 4th and 5th. A night game on the 4th and a day game on the 5th. At Philadelphia, the Phillies won the first game of a doubleheader 5-2. The winning pitcher, Cal McClish, he now is 5-2 on his year. Home runs by Williams, Lemon, and Matthews in that game. In the second game, Chicago 2, Philadelphia nothing after 2.5. Cal Kuntz pitching against Art Mahaffey. In a single game at St. Louis, the Giants are out in front 3-1 after 6 innings of play. Juan Marshall working on his 8th win. He is 7-3. Pitching now for the Cardinals, Humphreys, who came in the ball game in the 6th and plays the starting pitcher Ernie Broglio. And the Cincinnati Reds lead Los Angeles 5-0 after 5.5 innings. Jim O'Toole pitching the shutout so far. He is 8-3. In the ball game in place of Padres, Helmuth. Padres the starting pitcher. Now Roger Craig, after a tremendous ball game, getting a fine hand as he goes slowly to center field. It's a real heartbreaker to pitch as well as Roger did, and to see a shutout go out the window in the final inning. Roger with a 1-0 lead going into the 9th inning, losing it as Mazeroski scored from third on a base hit by Smokey Burgess. In the American League, the Yankees were shut out on a 2-hit shutout by Jack Kralik. His record 4-5 now. Cleveland scoring 5 runs off Stafford and Renner. Adcock and the Jew kicking in with home runs. In the second game, with Williams on the mound for the Yankees and McDowell going for Cleveland, no score after 1.5 innings of play. In a single game at Kansas City, Washington won. Kansas City coming to bat in the bottom half of the first. Daniels against Bozefield. A home run by Kazi giving Washington the lead. Here comes Chuchu Coleman now in. Should correct that. A home run now by Kazi tying up the ball game. It's 1-1 with Kansas City batting in the bottom half of the first inning. At Chicago, It's a tie ball game after 5, 6-6. Mambo Kett going for the Red Sox. Pitching for Chicago now, Bauman, who came in the game in place of DeBuscher, who relieved the starter Ray Herbert. Stewart, Hanson, and Robinson home runs in that game. Also in the American League, Minnesota 5, Detroit 3 after 6. Fall and Cott. Home runs by Allison, his 13th. Kaline, Killebrew, and Colavito. And scheduled at Los Angeles, Robert Roberts going for the Baltimore Orioles against Dean Chance. That game just getting underway. Larry Bernard now taking his warm-up pitches on the mound. Larry, pitching in his 12th game, has worked 21 innings, giving up 20 hits, allowing only 7 earned runs. His record 1-1. He has a 3.0 earned run average. So it will be up to Larry Bernard to keep Roger Craig from coming up with a defeat. The runner at first base is Roger Craig's responsibility. Also in with Larry Bernard, the change in catchers, is going to be Choo-Choo Coleman. Craig going 8 1/3 innings, giving up only 1 run so far. He allowed 9 hits. He struck out 7, and he walked only 1. Only run to score coming in the 9th inning. Larry Bernard, the right-hander, will work to Donn Clendenon. Donn, the big right-hand batter. On at first base, Smokey Burgess' pinch runner, Ron Brand. Clendenon 1 for 3 in the game. First pitch is a curve that's low for ball 1. Tom Sisk throwing in the bullpen now for the Pirates. Clendenon, the 7th batter in the batting order, so the pitcher is scheduled up after the 8th man, Bob Bailey. Now the 1-0 pitch. It's low. It's ball 2. Worked in the 8th inning of the first game of this series. He pitched 1 inning, gave up no runs, no hits. Score tied 1-1. Top of the 9th inning, 1 man out. The Pirates with the runner at first base. Now Bernard with his 2-0 pitch to Clendenon. And he gets a strike down around the knees on the outside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. That's set back for a double play. Brand at first base, and the pitch to Clendenon is popped up in foul territory. A chance for Coleman, also Harkness. They're coming over, but it's going to drop down. Neither one could get to it. That moves the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Both men had to go over 100 feet to get to that ball, and it came down before either could get within catching distance. Two balls and 2 strikes. Brand, the real fast man at first base. And he draws the throw. No tag made by Harkness. Brand getting back ahead. Now time call as Clendenon steps out of the batter's box. Clendenon batting at 290. Here's the 2-2 pitch, and it's sliced off the right. It could drop in going down the line, and it's going to curve foul. Clendenon slicing the ball into the lower stands down the right field side in foul territory. That returns Brand to first base. Count holds at 2-2. Score 1-1. Top of the 9th inning. 1 man out. Pirates batting. best of 2. Larry Bedard reading the signs from Choo-Choo Coleman. Now again, the 2-2 pitch. It's low in the dirt, dug out by Coleman. The runner holds at first base, and the count fills out at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Going all the way down the line to Donn Clendenon. The on-deck batter is Bob Bailey. Brand at first base, leading off now. He's the go-ahead run. Edging further off. He goes, and the pitch is hit to center field. In the air, coming strongly is Piersall. Long run. Off to the right fielder, and now Cranepool makes the catch. Here's a throw to first base. It is not in time. Eddie Cranepool coming from out of nowhere to haul that one down. Piersall couldn't get to it. Ball was hit just to the right field side of center field. And Piersall, deep in left center, had a long run. Cranepool picked it up, and Brand, thinking the ball might drop in, had to really hurry to get back. He beat the perfect throw by Cranepool and got back just in time. So Bernard now has his second out, and he'll pitch to Bob Bailey. Bailey has 1 hit and 3 times up. He bounced to deep short and beat out the throw. He's batting .236, and the first pitch is a curve that's inside for ball 1. Roger Craig started the inning. He had a 1-0 game his way, but the Pirates tied it up on a base hit by Mazeroski to right field. A wild pitch and a base hit by Smokey Burgess. Now the 1-0 pitch to Bailey, and it popped up. A chance for Harkness. Him in foul territory, and he makes the catch. As he's done all year, does another fine job in relief. He keeps Roger Craig from losing a real tough game. Bernard came in the game with a runner at first base and 1 out, and he picked up Donn Clendenon on a fly ball to right and Bob Bailey on a foul out to the first baseman. In the inning for the Pirates, 1 run to tie it up. They had 2 hits. There were no errors, a wild pitch, and 1 man was left. Now we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning with the score tied 1-1. Ron Brand now in as the catcher. Elroy Face on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates. We're in the bottom half of the 9th inning. The score tied 1-1, and batting for the first time, Jim Hickman. And the first pitch by Face. A slider just outside for ball 1. Jim with 5 home runs, 23 runs batted in, batting .238. He leads the club in runs batted in. He came in the game in defense in place of Duke Snider. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Game tied at 1-1. And the pitch back to Jim is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. After Hickman, Eddie Cranepool and Chico Fernandez. Now at 2-1, Face gets a bouncing ball to third. Picked up by Bailey. The throw in time for out number 1. So Roy Face has pitched to 4 men now and retired them all in relief of Vern Law. The batter is Ed Cranepool. Ed singled to right field his last time up. He is 1 for 2 in the game. One run on 9 hits. The Mets have 1 run on 5. 1 out in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Here's the pitch to Cranepool. And he takes outside, ball 1. One ball, no strikes. Time call as Ron Brand talks to Frank Waltz about where Hickman's standing in the batter's box. Should say where Kranepool's standing in the batter's box. Hickman out to third. Kranepool got in the game when Frank Thomas was ejected by Frank Waltz when he protested a called third strike in the fourth inning. And he takes a strike through there. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ed 1 for 1. His first time up, he singled sharply to right field off Vernon Law. Law gave up only 5 hits. Now back outside, it's ball 2. 2 balls and 1 strike. The big hit in the ball game for the Mets, a home run by Duke Snider in the fourth for their only run. Now a 2-1. The pitch back to Kranepool. Fouled away, and the count now moves to 2-2. Thrown back by Waltz, going over Base's head, picked up out back by second base. Two balls and 2 strikes, 1 man out, bottom half of the 9th inning. The score tied 1-1. The 2-2 pitch. There's a line drive to right field, a base hit. Eddie Kranepool with his second base hit, and now the Mets out. The go-ahead run at first base, and we'll pause for station identification while we wait for Chico Fernandez to come up.
This is WGY Schenectady, your New York Mets station. The time is 4:35, the temperature 83 degrees.
Skinner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson. The Mets with the winning run on at first base. Pirates have 1 out. The batter is Chico Fernandez. Chico 2 hits in 2 times up. Also a walk to go along. Now Face sets and comes to the plate, and there's a strike call in the outside corner of the knees. Face with a slider right down there. Base hit off Roy Face. He had retired 4 in a row. Kranepool on at first. Here's the set position, and the pitch back is taken low. One ball, 1 strike. Fernandez batting .240. Pirates with a run in the top of the 9th inning, tying up the game. Now the Mets have their chance to untie it. There again, it's low outside. A fastball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Jerry Lynch in left field, a real deep left field. He's way back there. Rest of the outfield about normal. Fernandez had 20 home runs for Detroit last year. So far for the Mets, he's had 1. Here's the pitch. The runner going, but it's fouled away. So on the hit and run play, Face picks up a foul strike, and returning to first base is Ed Kranepool. Count now 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chico with a base hit to center field his first time up, and a base hit to left field his second official time up. In between a walk. He's reached 3 times, batting for the first time against Face. Right-hander sets and comes back, and the pitch is low. That fills it out at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So right here, a big play coming up. Runner at first base, the winning run. 3-2 as Chico Fernandez bats 1 man out. Bottom half of the 9th, the score tied. We'll probably see Kranepool go. He goes. The pitch is fouled away. So at 3-2, Face keeps it going as he picks up a foul strike. balls and 2 strikes. Base taking the sign from his catcher, Ron Brand. Here's the stretch position. And a throw to first base. Kranepool back easily. Now again the set. There goes Kranepool. The pitch again fouled away. So the excitement kept going here as we battled right down to the last out. The score tied 1-1. The Pirates tying the ball game up in the 9th inning when Mazeroski singled to right, moved to second on a wild pitch, and scored when Smokey Burgess singled to center field. Roger Gregg receiving no credit for a very fine effort. Ball game in the hands now of Elroy Face and Larry Bernard. There goes the runner. A base hit to left field. Kranepool rounds. He'll get third. And the throw goes into second base. Count 3-2. Chico Fernandez singled to left field. By getting the extra start on the hit and run play, Eddie Kranepool had no trouble going to third. The Mets now have the winning run at third base. And now a conference at the mound. It's Danny Murtaugh to talk it over with Elroy Face. They'll be talking about whether or not to walk Charlie Neal and pitch to the next man, Choo-Choo Coleman. They have a chance, an option of putting another runner on base. Of course, the runs behind Eddie Kranepool mean nothing. 7 people at the mound to listen to the discussion from Danny Murtaugh. Bailey, the third baseman, the shortstop, Dick Schofield, the second baseman, Bill Mazeroski, the catcher, Ron Brand, the first baseman, Donn Clendenon. And that base hit by Chico Fernandez is third of the ball game. He has reached 4 times, once in a walk. 3 times on base hit. Infield pulled in, of course. The batter is Charlie Neal, and Charlie now being called out to talk to Cookie Lavagetto. Let's have a chance to win it here in the bottom half of the 9th inning. Score tied 1-1. The winning run on at third. Now Charlie Neal back in the batter's box. Charlie with no base hits today. He's 0 for 3. At 229. Fly ball will do it. Outfield shortened up. 1 out, and here's the throw to first base by Face. Getting back there ahead of the throw is Chico Fernandez. His run means nothing. And the first pitch, a pitch out for ball 1. Pirates looking for a possible squeeze, pitching out of the very first pitch. Well, you can't go any further down the line. Bottom half of the 9th inning. First game of a doubleheader. Now Face at 1-0 to Charlie Neal. Again a pitch out, and again it's ball 2. This time Charlie Neal moving around to attempt a bunt. Seeing the ball outside, he took it, and that play would have been a safety squeeze. Kranepool at third base, not breaking on the pitch. Face again, 2-0, and the pitch to Neal is outside for ball 3. Well, what Danny Murtaugh obviously told Face was, we're going to watch this fella, but let's see if we can trap him into a play. There's ball 4. They pitched out on the first 3 pitches looking for a possible squeeze play, and then gave the sign for the intentional pass. So the bases are loaded, but the main run, the only run that counts on the third base, Choo-Choo Coleman is scheduled up. And he is now talking to Casey Stengel. Choo-Choo came in the game in place of Sammy Taylor when Larry Bernard came in the game to pitch in the 9th inning. batter, a left-hand batter. 2-2 batting for the first time, batting 172. And now time call as Ron Brand goes out to Chuck Elroy face. Infield still playing in. They can't afford to give up any runs. The winning run is at third base. The score tied 1-1, one out here in the bottom half of the ninth inning. Now Bates in the set position to protect against the squeeze. And the first pitch hit on the ground. Caught on the air. Caught in the air. And the touch of first base is made a double play. By Choo-Choo Coleman, headed for right field. Not hit too hard. Donn Clendenon made a dive forward and caught the ball one-handed. As he lay prone on the ground, he reached over and touched first base, doubling up Charlie Neal there. So the breaks go against the Mets. A double play retiring the side. In the inning, no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors. A walk in the bases. At one time loaded, 2 men were left. Mets having a chance to break it open, and the ball hit well by Coleman. But Donn Clendenon turning it into a fine play to end the inning. So as we go to the top of the 10th inning, the score tied 1-1. It will be up to Larry Bernard to hold the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Mets have not had too much luck with Pittsburgh. They have won only 2 games from them in their career. While we get set to go to the 10th, let's check a quick look at the scores. Milwaukee won, Houston won at the end of 7. Philadelphia won the first game of 2, 5-2. In the second game, they have protested the second game. They are trailing 2-0. That's after 3.5 innings of play. San Francisco leading St. Louis 3-1 after 7. And the Cincinnati Reds lead the Los Angeles Dodgers 5-0 after 6. The American League, Cleveland beat New York 5-0. In the second game, Cleveland leads 2-0 after 2.5. Williams and McDowell in that one. Washington 1, Kansas City 1 at the end of 2. Boston 6, Chicago 6 at the end of 6. That's the first of 2. Detroit 6, Minnesota 5 at the end of 7. And Baltimore scheduled at Los Angeles. That's the story around the league. And right now we're moving to the top of the 10th. The first man up is Elroy Face. And he swings and misses for strike 1 on the first pitch. Face batting for the first time. He's batting from the left-hand side. And Bernard comes back with a curve to get strike 2. Another swing. Larry Bernard came in the game in the 9th inning with 1 man out. He has pitched to 2 men, retired them, now working on his 3rd. And now he's retired his 3rd, a strikeout call. First strikeout for Larry. Roger Craig, who worked 8 1/3 innings, had 7 strikeouts. Roger gave up 9 hits and only 1 run, but that run came in the 9th inning to erase a great pitching performance. Now we're moving to the top of the 10th. The first man up is Elroy Face. And he swings and misses for strike 1 on the first pitch. Face batting for the first time. He's batting from the left-hand side. And Bernard comes back with a curve to get strike 2. Another swing. Larry Bernard came in the game in the 9th inning with 1 man out. He has pitched to 2 men, retired them, now working on his 3rd. And now he's retired his 3rd, a strikeout call. First strikeout for Larry. Roger Craig, who worked 8 1/3 innings, had 7 strikeouts. Roger gave up 9 hits and only 1 run, but that run came in the 9th inning to erase a great pitching performance. Now the batter is Dick Schofield. And the first pitch to Dick is a strike call. Schofield has struck out twice, bounced back to the pitcher and walked. Batting at .234, batting left-handed, he's a switch hitter. And Bernard's with a fastball outside, and the count now 1 ball, 1 strike. On deck is Bill Virdon. Score tied 1-1. up with a curve. It just misses. 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the windup and the 2-1 pitch. Curveball fouled away. Ball, seeing the count go to 2-2. Pirates 1 run on 9 hits. The Mets have 1 run and 7. Now the pitch back to Schofield high for ball 3. 3 balls and 2 strikes. With a record of 1 win and 1 loss. Looking for the sign from Choo-Choo Coleman. He takes it. Here's the windup and the full count pitch. It's over. Hit on the ground to short. Chico Fernandez up with it. In time to first base for out number 2. And the batter now will be Bill Virdon. Bill has 2 hits and 4 times up. All against Roger Gregg. He's batting against Bernard for the first time. Virdon, a left-hand batter, batting at .236. And he takes a fastball high for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Mets with their run in the 4th inning on a home run by Duke Snider. He no longer is in the game. Pirates scored theirs in the 9th to tie it up on a base hit by Mazeroski, a wild pitch, and a base hit by Burgess. There's ball 2, again the fastball. 2 balls and no strikes. Bernard back to the plate, and there's a bouncing ball to short. A tough chance for Fernandez. He picks it up after dropping the ball, and his throw is late. Fernandez got the half hop, and the ball came off his glove, hit him in the chest, bounced right down in front of him. He picked it up, but by then, he was too late to get Virdon, who's a fast man. It scored an error on the shortstop, Fernandez. That is the first error of the game. And it gives the Pirates a base runner at first base and brings up Willie Stargell. Score tied 1-1. Stargell batting in the 3rd position in the batting order is 1 for 4. So Virdon on at first base to go-ahead run. And the first pitch to the left-hand batter is a fastball on the outside corner, strike 1 call. We're in the top of the 10th inning. 2 men out. Pirates batting. Now Bernard back to the plate with a curve, and this one is fouled away, and it's strike 2. For the Mets in their half of the 10th inning, they will have Larry Bernard leading off, and then Jimmy Piersall and Tim Harkness in that order. Mets missing a chance to win it in the 9th on a great play by Donn Clendenon. At the winning run at third base, the bases were loaded, 1 out, and Clendenon turned in a double play. There goes Virdon breaking for second. The throw to second base is inside. He is out. Fine play by Larry Bernard. He took a look at first base and found Virdon breaking for second. Virdon had nowhere to go but to go all the way. Bernard doing the right thing, moving around off the mound, throwing to second base. Fernandez covered, and that retires the side. In the inning for the Pirates, no runs, no hits, 1 error, no one left, and the score at the end of 9.5 innings of play, the Pirates won, the New York Mets won. It's the Mets half of the 10th inning. The score tied 1-1, and the first man up will be Larry Bernard. On the mound for Pittsburgh, it's Delroy Face, and the first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. a good hitting pitcher, one time a catcher in his early career. Now face back again, and it's strike two, this time called. Bernard is 0 for 6, looking for his first major league base hit. There's a hard ground ball right to the middle, a base hit. So Larry Bernard gets his first major league hit, and it's a big one. That is the winning run at first base, and now it's going to be Rod Cadillo running for Larry. Running for Larry Bernard. Larry being used actually in that case as a pinch hitter. Manager Casey Stengel thinking that Bernard would get the best chance of getting a base hit right there. Now the batter is Jimmy Piersall. Jimmy is 0 for 4, batting for the second time against Elroy Face. Piersall's first 2 times up found him hitting the ball well, but coming up with nothing but at bat. Deep drive to right, and a smash off the hand of Vernon Law. Here's Face with his first pitch. Piersall bunts, the ball goes foul. Clendenon giving chase, but not catching up with the ball. So it's a 1-strike count. The 2 starting pitchers in this game, Vernon Law, pitching fine baseball, and Roger Craig. Vernon Law went 7 innings, gave up 5 hits and 1 run, a home run to Duke Snider. Roger Craig went 8 1/3 innings, gave up 1 run, allowed 9 hits. Roger struck out 7 and walked 1. Law struck out 5 and walked 2. Now it's up to Elroy Face and Larry Bernard. The game is in their hands. Face on the mound. And a throw to first base finds Cadillo back ahead of the tag. Of the 10th inning. Here's the pitch by Face. A pitch out, no play on. That time Donn Clendenon evidently missed the sign because he was right on top of Piersall. There was no chance to throw to first base. Neal had not strayed too far away, so there would have been no chance of picking him up. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now it's Face again. The pitch to Piersall, bunted out in the front of the mound, picked up by Face. He'll have to go to first. He does to Mazeroski, and now the Mets have the winning run at second base. Perfect sacrifice bunt by Jimmy Piersall, and now it's Tim Harkness' turn. Tim has 1 hit and 4 times up. Put him on. There's ball 1. That means they'll pitch to Ron Hunt. Ball 2. Last time the Pirates had a man put on as a result of an intentional pass. They picked up a double play. They walked Charlie Neal, and then Choo-Choo Coleman batting line to the first baseman Clendenon. Clendenon cuts the bag for a double play to take the Pirates out of a real tough inning in the 9th inning. Cincinnati, I should say at St. Louis, Willie Mays has just hit his 3rd home run of the game, and the Giants now lead the St. Louis Cardinals by a score of 6-1. Mays with a home run in the 1st, the 8th, and the 9th. Also home run in the game for the Giants, Orlando Cepeda. Right here, though, the Mets with a base hit could win it. The batter is Ron Hunt. Runners at first and second. 1 out. We're in the bottom half of the 10th. Ron with no hit so far today. He is 0 for 4. Right-hand batter. And the first pitch is fouled away for strike 1. Hunt is is the leading batter for the Mets at 275. He has 3 home runs, 13 runs batted in. Neal on at second base. Tim Harkness at first. And Elroy Face on the mound for the Pittsburgh Pirates, one of the top relief men in baseball. Face has compiled quite a record in relief. Only one other pitcher in Major League history tops him, and that is Lloyd Wilhelm. 1 ball, 1 strike. Time in now. Here's the pitch to Hunt. It's low for balls. 1, and the count now 1-1. He's taking plenty of time now set. And the pitch to Hunt is a slider over for strike call. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elroy Face. Now he's set. And the pitch to Hunt. Low fly ball to left field. Breaking back at first is Lynch, now coming strongly. Here comes the center field. They run together and drop the ball. Here comes Neal from third base. He's going to score. There's a throw, and the Mets hit it. Jerry Lynch and Bill Virdon ran together out in left center field. Lynch was hurt on the play. He is now up, and the ball was dropped. Neal, who had moved back to second base, got up and moved on in to win the ball game for the Mets in the bottom of the 10th inning by a score of 2-1. We'll have to check to see how they scored. They ran together very hard. So the Mets, by scoring 1 run in the bottom half of the 10th inning, have won the first game of this doubleheader. We'll be back with a recap and the totals in just 1 minute. Well, fans, here we are in the Mets' second great season. You and I, Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy, have got a date for over 90 more Mets podcasts. So if I were you, I'd start stocking up right now with Rheingold Extra Dry. You know, nothing adds quite so much to your enjoyment of the game as settling back and relaxing with a tall, frosty glass of Rheingold. That's because Rheingold is beer as beer should taste. And dry tells you why. Yes, 2 little words, extra dry, tell you that Rheingold is brewed the long, slow, costly way for flavor that's brisk and bright and clean clear through. So next chance you get, why don't you make it a point to open up or order up a bottle or glass of refreshing Rheingold Extra Dry. Enjoy it, along with all the games. Well, just about everything happens out here at the Polo Grounds, and the Mets won their first game of the year from the Pittsburgh Pirates here. Jerry Lynch and Bill Virdon ran together on a fly ball in left center field. Neal scoring on the play, giving the Mets a 2-1 victory. The losing pitcher in the ball game was Elroy Face. Elroy picking up his 4th loss of the year. He has won 2 ball games. The winning pitcher in relief, Larry Bernard, his 2nd win of the year. He has lost 1. For the Mets, Roger Craig started and pitched 8 1/3 innings, giving up 1 run on 9 hits. He struck out 7 and walked 1. Roger pitching a fine ball game, but seeing a 1-0 shutout go out the window when Bill Mazeroski singled to right field his last time up in the 9th inning. Jerry Lynch was the next batter, and he bounced to first base. And as he went to first base, it was out for 1 out. Mazeroski, who was on second base, as a result of a wild pitch, moved to third. Then Smokey Burgess, with 1 man out, a runner at third base, singled to center field on a low curve ball in the very first pitch, and that tied up the game. That was all for Roger. Larry Bernard came in and then got the right fielder, Willie Stargell, on a fly ball. Donn Clendenon also, and then worked the last inning, the 10th inning against Pittsburgh, 1-2-3. For the Mets, the first run came in the 4th inning on a home run by Duke Snider. and their final run came in the 10th. We still have had no decision from the official score as to how that ball will be scored. They're going to check the rule book. On the play, Jerry Lynch in left field came charging on to go after the fly ball. He got his glove on the ball, but he was hit at the same time by Bill Virdon, who was also coming for the ball. They crashed together in a big heap, went down. Lynch was hurt on the play, and the ball rolled about 15 feet away. Roger Neal, who was on second base, scored, and that's the way the game ended, 2-1. For the Mets, 2 runs, 8 hits, 1 error. For the Pirates, 1 run on 9 hits, and no errors. Don't forget that the Mets will have another game coming your way in just about 30 minutes. Now they're going to give the official scoring. Burnaby scored an error on Jerry Lynch, and believe me, that poor guy got the short end of that deal all the way around. He had the ball in his glove and was hit by Virdon, and Virdon knocked it out. So he gets the error, and it's going to go as an unearned run, but the Mets still win it 2-1. Tickets are on sale for games coming up with Milwaukee, St. Louis, and Cincinnati at 3 convenient locations, downtown at Grand Central Station and Pennsylvania Station. Also, tickets on sale right here at the Polo Grounds at the advanced reservation windows. Final score of this game, 2-1. The scheduled pitchers for the second game coming your way in about 20 minutes will be Al McBean for the Pittsburgh Pirates and Tracy Stollard. Right now, though, we return you to your local station.